And Sam is back in the building.
Ahoy.
Yeah, new set design. This is actually the first recording of
the new one?
new setup. Yeah,
Aw,
got
yeah.
the couch in today, put the arms in. You can see more of the set, which I'll have a camera angle for that when I have more
Word.
people on. But for right now, I just thought, why include another half of a couch
That no
and-
one's on. That makes it way sadder. For sure.
yeah. But yeah,
I like
so-
this new setup.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't have you were here you were like day one podcast guest pretty much.
Yeah, I was pretty early on.
Yeah, and
What number are we on now?
like 20.
Oh, junk. So you've been busy.
And we've started the Pina Radio thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just picked back up today. This will be posted later. I'm posting one podcast a day
Word.
right now. But
That's
Pina
smart.
Radio picked back up. It's at 12. So 20 podcasts, 12 radios. And on the day that Pina Radio has resumed, which is today, technically, and then also another podcast on the same channel will start, which is called Subtitled, and that's my friend Will Miller, and so he'll be doing one of those, and he'll be recording it on Sunday, and it'll be released on Monday every week.
Dope.
And we've got a couple other people who want to start podcasts on the Pineapple channel.
Dude,
A bunch of
yes.
stuff. So it's cool.
You're expanding and growing.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like it's not hard to.
Do?
It's not hard to do when it's like I got somebody who comes up and they're just like, I've always wanted to do this. And I'm like, okay, I have everything.
Yeah.
Like do it.
Sure.
Like, what do you want to talk about? They're
Yeah.
like, I want to talk about this is apples. I'm
Right.
Like, all right.
I love apples.
Yeah, except for like I had that guy come up and I said, no, it's one fruit channel.
Sure.
I'm the only fruit on this channel. No other fruit.
Start your own.
Yeah. Fuck.
Rivaling fruit podcasts.
But yeah, so I was gonna show you the.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get. I'm not gonna have the visuals for this because I didn't set it up for that. But if anybody's ever watched this podcast before, they've seen this guy. I actually might be able to just add it in real quick here. Oh. Yep.
Mm,
Oh. Maybe.
perhaps.
Can I do it?
Who knows?
No.
Could be. No.
No. So, could it be that? No. So,
Warning, cringe will be provided through this video.
yeah. Well, I mean, so this guy I followed, he's pretty fun.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like backstory on him, just to give you some context to his videos. So like those 21 views, those are me. I've shown him on probably like 5 podcasts now. This is my favorite video I've found. He's got like 900 subscribers.
Okay.
Um,
That's not nothing.
no, it's not. Not a lot of views, but I mean, he also posts like multiple times a day. He's a big fan of InfoWars.
Oh.
He thinks doctors are terrorists.
Oh.
This is a gaming channel, but more than half of his videos are about him either sharing some political views. Sometimes he finds some weird rocks in his backyard that he wants to show us. He found this rock with a hole in it.
Oh.
And he was like showing you. He was like, "Come on, geologists, show me how this happened." Like, 'cause,
Got him.
yeah, 'cause, Alex Jones.
Holy
And,
smokes.
And this video is like classic, my favorite. This is the first one I came across because at the beginning of it,
That's a pretty nasty
he's just
rash.
kind of rubbing his foot.
As
Well,
you
that's
can
his
see,
foot,
it looks
okay.
like there's
Yeah,
some
he's just showing a little
wounds-
rash he's
old
got.
wounds that have healed. But that's pretty bad. It goes.
You know, he's
Here
just
a little
showing
bit.
this foot. He shows it's on both feet. This
only-
rash he has.
Okay.
But then there's this
Very,
spectacular
walking around
moment
so much.
where, for me, like I was just
I guess you can
surprised.
see me.
Flips the camera around. That's it.
Oh
so much.
man, look at that.
Yeah. And he goes on to talk about how he was sleeping in a tent one night with this girl, and she put something on his feet, and that's why he thinks he has the rash. And then if you see the little bruise
Yeah.
on the left side of
Uh-huh.
his shoulder, well, it's the bottom part of his shoulder because I don't think he gets the camera work thing
Sure,
really well because he's
definitely.
sideways.
Right.
A lot of the best videos I find on YouTube, you got to kind of like tilt your
Can't
head
get
a
the
little bit.
orientation right.
But
If I were gonna make fun of that guy, I would say that he looks like he probably has a rash on his feet, but he actually has a rash on his feet. You know what I mean?
But that's the cool thing about
the
him is
streets, I
like
took
he
off
also
my
talks about
shoes.
how like this purple thing
Uh-huh.
right here is he says it like just flows straight. He's like, I was in the tent with the girl, she put something on my feet, and then the other day in the shelter some guys put something on my arm, and that's what this is from.
What is happening? What did? You...
And
I don't
sometimes
know.
my socks. When I
And if you didn't
slept
think that
with
was
this
He's missing
girl,
teeth.
enough,
Boy,
he
it
starts
was
to
itching
shift
so
over to
bad.
the arms,
When I got out of the shower.
and it's just like, what's
Oh,
going on?
dude, what is happening? What is being put on his body?
Well, okay, so then we get to start talking about just I'm catching up on all this
Please
guy.
do, yeah.
'cause
Jason.
I started just like watching his videos as they were coming out,
Uh-huh.
and then I would show the good ones to my friends on the podcast. But he's got, and this is Jason Meyer for anybody who wants to go see these videos. But you know, he does his rants, he does his gaming videos, which are more early on. He doesn't do those as much anymore. But he also does a segment where he picks off a piece of his body and puts it under
a microscope?
a microscope, and he looks at it. And he always would talk about how there's these fibers growing out of it, and I can't remember what the disease is, but a buddy of mine was on the podcast, and he like deduced it. There's a disease where you actually have these weird fibers that grow under your skin,
Really?
and it actually slows down your healing process. So that's
Interesting.
why he has all these scars and
Is
stuff
that what
on him.
fibromyalgia is? I'm just guessing
No.
because it has the word fiber.
It's like it's some like Halugan or meloglobin or something like that disease, but he's never gonna get it healed. Like it's a very treatable disease, but like he doesn't go to the doctors
Yeah.
because they're terrorists. So
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
like,
right. I
it
was like,
was-
he doesn't have health insurance? No, they're terrorists for sure.
no, yeah. So it like his whole story blew my mind because we
Well, let
really
me see some microscope videos.
Oh yeah. I'll show you. Go back a little bit in the catalog. This was the video where his videos got flagged because he was talking about Infowars.
Oh, yeah.
This is the
I'll
rock he
do it.
found. It's got a hole in it. Stupid geologist can't prove that.
My
you know?
holy rock.
Mhm.
He's got puns.
Yeah, and
Oh my
trying
gosh.
to make
something is
sure.
burrowing. Dude, this is wild.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Soon.
Yeah, he's just looking at. We're
Let's
looking
see
at
if I can
something
see anything else.
kind of looks like chicken with a little bit of red on it. But you
Ye-
see these fibers in there. I got right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and he does it daily.
It looks like he picked off a piece of a pepperoni pizza and stuck it under there,
Yeah.
which also makes me kind of want pizza.
Gosh, man. It's weird when a part of a human body under a microscope makes you want some bza.
Mmm. That's what, whenever I order pizza, I look up microscope videos ahead of time just to get my appetite roaring.
Just so you're ready when that guy gets here.
Yeah.
You're just like, your skin and that smell of that pizza is really
Why don't you
making
come
me
in?
hungry.
Let me go grab the money for it. Come back with a hatchet. Gosh. Yikes. That's Jason. Jason.
Jason Meyer. Yeah, he's
Dude,
a cool
he's
guy.
putting out content.
Mhm.
Good for
No,
him.
seriously, I mean, like, we can go back and look. He's released probably, 9 hours ago, day ago, 4 days ago. I mean, he's doing multiple a day. He's putting in
No,
work.
2 days ago. That one has 4 views.
Yeah.
2 days ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 3 days ago, 3 days ago, 3 days ago. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Homeboy is
He's working.
cranking out videos.
Yeah. I would almost suggest, because I feel like he's got to know, like, because I'm leaving comments, I'm subscribed, I'm an active subscriber. Like, on the analytics, you can actually see who your
Sure.
most active subscriber
Right.
is, and that's me. And I would hope he's watching my videos too. And if he is, I would tell him maybe, like, slow down on the content. Maybe make one big video for the day, do a little editing.
Right, sure.
Instead of...
Go to a doctor.
Or, yeah, I mean that first, but I feel
Sure.
like that's a little harder. Maybe we'll work towards that as our
Right.
relationship is
Sure, as
growing
a
YouTubers grow.
Right.
I'm just trying to...
Would you want to make a video with this guy? Would you want him on the podcast?
I mean, like, I'd stream him in. Like, like, I don't know if I'd really want to hand out my address
Bring him to
a
your
guy
home.
like that. Yeah. He also kind of seems like he lives far away because it's like really snowy where he is. So
Gotcha.
I don't know where he's from,
Sure.
but it's not snowy here. But he speaks pretty good English. A nurse friend of mine came on, and he was talking about how this guy is definitely schizophrenic. He shows like a ton of signs of it and
Gotcha.
stuff. So I don't know if we're ever gonna reach like a really trusting relationship.
Maybe. You never know. The power
don't
of
know.
friendship is strong.
Yeah, stronger than schizophrenia.
We'll see.
We'll find
We
out
will.
in later episodes.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah.
Who else you got?
Probably right now my top 2 that I'm actively following or actively posting is Jason Meyer, and then Gucci Groves is pretty good. We've deduced that she is actually a failed robot that they stopped updating.
Okay.
Either that,
Okay.
that, or she has fetal alcohol syndrome.
Ooh.
It's one of the two.
Also very possible.
Yeah, you can see it in the eyes and like the way she talks. But yeah, like, I mean, this is her doing some songwriting. I like her music videos the best. She's not very good at audio though, so you can't understand
Right.
anything she says. But you can hear the notes aren't right.
Okay, yeah, so she's got a little
It's like a mini guitar.
mini guitar.
She's also very British.
I was going to say, how old is she?
I don't know, probably like 23,
Oh,
36 or something like that.
she looks like she's 14. That's where I was going to go.
I feel like you're highballing it with that though. I don't know, maybe like 7. I don't know.
Who knows, man?
Yeah, I'm just keeping up with these.
Good. I'm
growing
glad because somebody
YouTubers.
needs to. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I mean, somebody's got to support,
Yeah, new content creators.
new content creators
For
and
sure.
everything. So, but yeah, I mean,
That's amazing.
I haven't done a ton of research this week.
Yeah.
A lot of time and investments and stuff.
Sure.
Wow.
Wow.
But yeah. So last day.
Last day. This is it.
This is it.
I'm moving away tomorrow morning.
Are you scared?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I've never lived in a town that my parents haven't also lived in. So it's a little scary. I got dinner with my family last night and said goodbye to all of them. And that was great, but
Yeah.
also very sad. My mom cried.
Yeah.
And she was very sad, and I was also very sad. But I'll be back.
Yeah.
But also I'm...
So you're not like just like Charleston's dead to me, like moving on.
I mean, I'll be back because my parents live here.
Yeah.
And that I will come back to see them. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've been here for a while.
Yeah.
I think it's time for me to get on out of here. But it's an awesome town. But I want better comedy opportunities. And I don't know. I need a bigger market. I'm sorry to yawn in your
No.
face. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to comedy. My last shift was on Saturday at my job, and then yesterday we moved all the stuff out of my apartment, like my furniture and stuff like that. So now just my mattress is like sitting on the ground, and then yeah, tomorrow morning I still have to like pack everything.
Wait, you haven't started packing?
But here's the problem, right? Is that I don't really have anything at all.
Yeah.
So like, I don't have any furniture. I'm selling my couch to Danny. You know Danny, my roommate.
Yeah.
Selling my couch to Danny. Selling my washer and dryer. I'm throwing away or donating most of my clothes. Like I have like 100 T-shirts, literally. And then I'm bringing like a bedside table and a lamp. And then I'm gonna buy my new roommate's old bed, who's like my childhood best friend, so it's not like a stranger's bed, which is still not great, but you know, it's whatever.
You get what you get.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, yeah, just I'll give you like whatever amount you're comfortable with. I'll pay for it. And he was like, how about $50? I was like, yeah, for sure. It's a queen, and I've literally always slept on a twin.
So you're gonna upgrade for $50.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'll
that's
definitely
nice.
take it. And so I have like a bedside table, a lamp.
But he's not. It's not still like his though, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna sleep in it together. I'm just renting half of the bed.
Oh.
No, that's not
Okay,
true.
okay,
No,
alright.
he bought a new bed and he was like, I'm gonna throw it out. He was like, do you want it? I was like, yeah, for
I
sure.
thought you were just like leasing it from him.
No,
Like,
$50 a month for a bed,
you,
and
rules
pillows
are you're on the
extra.
left.
Right. Yeah, and then I've got like a stereo and like a record player and
Like a toothbrush.
right.
Yeah.
And like deodorant.
Mm.
But I don't like, and I have a piano. Like my grandfather had an electric piano that's like a half stack thing, and I tried to fit it in my car yesterday, but it didn't fit. So, my dad is going to come up and visit at some point and just bring the piano up
Oh, okay.
in the future. My grandmother also lives. I'm moving to DC, and my grandmother lives in Annapolis, so I'm gonna go hang out with her.
Annapolis.
Maryland.
That's close.
Yeah, it's like 45 minutes.
What?
Yeah, so Virginia, Maryland, and then DC's in between.
Oh, I thought Maryland was like up, like
No.
up in like Ohio area and stuff.
No. The DC, VA, MA area. DC, Virginia, Maryland.
Because DC's in Virginia,
No, DC is its own thing.
but it's like inside of it.
It is, yes. So it's on the river, and so, okay, wait, now I might get this wrong. So Virginia is south, and then DC is at the top of Virginia, and then Maryland is above Virginia.
So it's not surrounded by Virginia.
I don't think so, but I don't think it may be. I don't think, pull up a map real quick. I don't think it's surrounded because but I don't think it borders Maryland, so that may be wrong. Virginia. So I grew up here. I grew up in Northern Virginia, so I don't.
Whoa.
I should know, but I don't.
Kind of looks
Oh,
like
yeah, maybe it is.
it's on its own.
Yeah, and then
Because
Bethesda,
Washington
yeah.
is in DC. Nope.
what do you mean?
Is it?
So Washington D.C. is the
Yeah.
full title of it.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Cool.
I didn't know what you meant. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm not good at geography.
No, it's fine. So it's actually a district. So it's not even a state. That's
Is that just so nobody has the capital in it? Like in their state? It's like kind of like a, just kind of like a nod of like, nobody has this in their
I don't know,
state.
actually. That's a good question. But it's the District of Columbia. So it is, Washington, D.C. is its own thing and isn't part of the 50 states.
But the District of Columbia,
Mhm.
they get their own rules and everything, right?
Yeah, weed's legal there.
Shit.
Isn't that bonkers?
They don't get to vote though, right?
They do. But there was a push a few years ago for DC to become its own state for something with states' rights. But people in DC definitely get to vote because, I mean, people in,
But they don't get to vote on like state laws because they're not technically in a state.
well, not for like Virginia or Maryland or anything.
So they've got
that.
like
they have their own.
They've got like district rights.
Yeah. So like for example, weed is legal within the district, but not in Maryland or Virginia.
That's like such like.
Isn't that crazy? All the
Yeah.
senators and everybody can smoke weed, but
Yeah.
the rest of it's still federally
The people they're
legal.
representing can't.
I mean, it's wild. But I'm moving technically to Alexandria, Virginia, which is, I don't know, 20 minutes from DC proper.
But you're still gonna smoke in DC at some point.
No, so you have to have a DC residence because you can't smoke it in public and you can't smoke it in your car and you can't smoke it on federal grounds, which is 22% of DC.
What the fuck? Why is
So-
it even legal?
But you can gift somebody up to an ounce of marijuana, which is a lot.
yeah.
And you can own 2 ounces and you can grow 6 plants in your home, but only 2 of them can be in bloom at one time. So you can grow your own and you can gift it to somebody.
yeah.
But
Like give it to somebody in DC
yes,
or like.
it has to be in DC and you have to smoke it in your private residence that is in DC. I Googled it.
So you got to make some friends like in the district.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm sure stuff happens and can't really
Yeah,
do much about
as I was
it.
Googling it, I found that there are like these loophole companies
Yeah.
that you like order online
Yeah.
and you buy like chocolate chip cookies
Uh-huh.
for like $80. And then they come and they give you cookies.
Uh.
And then in like the special memo, you put what strain you want. And then they gift you weed.
Yeah.
And so you're technically buying the cookies, but then they'll gift you weed. Because as long as there are no money or services exchanged for the weed, it's legal. And so they're like, yeah, here are your cookies. Also, here's a manila folder full of weed. But there's like there's like
But nobody's like,
there's a bill
why
that was
are
passed.
these cookies so expensive?
Right.
You know?
But I mean, they have like websites and like
Yeah.
apps and stuff where it's like, it's wild. I don't know.
Well, my boss was showing me he's still got the app on his phone because he Nate Evans, he was on the podcast, but he loves going to Vegas because he just loves gambling
Sure.
and the works of
Neon
it all.
lights.
Yeah, neon lights. He's a big neon light
aficionado.
But there's an app where you can order just all sorts of marijuana products to your hotel room
Oh my gosh.
and smoke them in your hotel room. And he's like showing me the app, and you can get like those moon rocks where they roll the nug in wax
Oh,
and
yeah.
then put the keef on it, and then like. You know, they got all these different blunts and strains, and you can get everything pre-rolled if you want. You can get like a carton of like pre-rolled joints, like, and they're all like neat and nice, and like he's just showing me all that stuff, and I can just imagine like I mean, it can't just be in Las Vegas, like they
Right.
probably got those apps over in DC too, but like in DC they're like cookie apps.
Yeah, and so also in DC there aren't recreational dispensaries. There's only medical, even though it is recreational. But you have to have a medical card to get from. In order to get a medical card, you have to have a DC address, and all this stuff. I don't know. I think it's all going to be legal in, let's say, 2 years, everywhere. Here's my prediction. I'm going to bring politics up. I think that Trump is going to win again, and he's going to win on legalizing marijuana because that's the only way he's going to get the young people vote. I don't want him to win again, but I think that's his only fighting chance to get the.
Would you vote for him if he said he was going to legalize
Oof.
marijuana?
Nah.
Still no.
No, but also, I think Bernie wants to legalize everything, and I don't think I'd vote for him either. Just 'cause
He's running.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he announced it. It was yesterday, wasn't it?
I think last week sometime.
Oh.
He,
Dang, I said it was yesterday
but-
earlier this morning.
Whoops.
Latest news from a week ago.
Yeah. No, but I don't think I'd vote for him, just because he does the weed thing, but I mean, one way or the other, I think people are going to look at Canada and see how much money they made, and they're like, ooh, the capitalism in America is going to start itching and see all the. I mean, I forget the numbers, but Canada made like, I don't know, like billions of dollars off of it because they legalized it across the country.
Yeah.
That
was a while ago.
It was last year, I think.
What?
And
what are you talking about?
yeah, Justin Trudeau, when he got reelected, that was one of the things he ran on, and so he.
That was last year?
2018.
I felt like they've had it legalized for a while.
Mm-mm.
Maybe it was just medically.
Yeah, I think because they did it just recreationally across the whole country.
Oh, okay. Because they've always had like just like looser weed laws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why they're so polite up there,
Mm.
you know. But I don't know. I think I also saw that psilocybin, the mushrooms drug, just got approved.
Oregon.
Or it got approved by the FDA to start testing for depression.
Yeah.
Which is like, I've never done mushrooms, but
Yeah, they're trying to legalize it medically in
Oregon?
right now.
Nice.
Yeah. Because
Oregon,
and they
they
say it's
would.
probably going to go through because they've got to have like a place of practice, and so like the FDA's approved
Sure.
it, and there's a company called MAPS in Europe, and they've been doing studies for a super long time, and they just want to start expanding into America and set up some
Word.
research facilities. Because like basically like if a scientist is like really good, it's almost like sports teams, like
Yeah.
if you've got this kid who's amazing at basketball and he's in North Dakota,
Mhm.
and North Dakota doesn't have a fucking good basketball team,
Right.
he's gonna leave. North Dakota
Right.
goes, we want to keep our best people here, and so
Yeah.
America's kind of going like, oh shit, like our like scientists when it comes to like this stuff are leaving.
Sure.
It's probably not smart. We should probably keep them here.
Yeah.
And so
Well, and Dr. Drew, we were just talking about Dr. Drew earlier. He
Mm-hmm.
he was talking about, I heard him talking about psychedelics with he was on Pete Holmes' podcast, and he said, he asked him, have you ever done psychedelics? He was like, no. He said, we don't know the impact it has on the brain and stuff, just because there hasn't been testing done because it's still illegal. So like scientists can't run trials and see the impact it has on people long term and all this stuff. And so I think it would be good to legalize things like that, if anything, just for being able to like do research on it and get a better like understanding of like its good things and bad things, but
yeah, because I mean you've got, I don't know, like because you really can't settle an argument because nobody.
because it's all anecdotal. People are like, well,
Yeah.
I've done acid a bunch of times and I'm fine. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're talking in a bar right now. You know what I mean? It's like,
This is not. This
Yeah.
is not Jason Myers petri dish. This isn't fucking science.
right.
Um.
I was talking to a girl the other day, and she was saying that, and I don't. I'm a Christian person, and I believe in an invisible man in the sky. So, like, take
Yeah.
all of this with a
Just
grain
put her
of
on
salt.
blast real quick. Throw her
No.
Instagram tag out.
You're right. She was talking about how she believes that the mind and the body are way more connected than people in like an Eastern medicine kind of a way, like meditation, that sort of jazz.
Like in your spinal system, how they're like actually
Like physically connected. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
she was talking about how like, there are stories of people who will be diagnosed with cancer and then they come home and then they won't tell anybody about it and they'll just kind of not think about it and like meditate and then their cancer will go away. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But also I believe in God and I believe he can heal people and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So I'm not saying that like crazy things don't happen for sure. But, and I was like, but why, but like people will have like a tumor in their brain, that's like there. And then it doesn't just like go away through positive thinking. And she was like, I don't know, man, and she said, if people really believe,
Yeah.
they can make it go away. And I was like, all right. I was like, so then why do people die of cancer? And she was like, well, because they don't believe hard enough. And I was like, oof. I was like, okay, so it's their fault. And she was like, no, that's not what I'm saying. And I was like, all right. I was like, so what are you saying?
Yeah.
And She said, like, for example, she said, I used to have really bad back pain, and then I had this really great acid trip, and then I realized that it was all in my head, and I don't have back pain anymore. But she also does a lot of yoga. And so I was like, but you also do yoga, right? And she was like, yeah, but, it's different. And I was like, okay, cool. And I, like, thought about that for a while.
Yeah.
Because also, I don't want to discredit anything because maybe she knows some stuff I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know. And I believe in crazy things as well. Crazy things. But, like, that was one that I had not heard before.
Well, and there are so for the back pain thing, there is like tests done where it may just be a placebo effect,
Sure.
but the placebo effect works.
Yeah.
So scientists lean into that and go why do we put such a stigma around a placebo effect? Like
If it works.
if your back hurts and then you start thinking a different way and your back doesn't hurt anymore,
Fantastic.
yeah. And
Absolutely.
so like with stuff like that, a lot of times people talk about how, men when they get into their 40s, 50s, they start to have increased back pain, and a lot of this is due to stress.
Sure.
People who have taking big shits and stuff, and with guys with or just people in general with migraines, a lot of times that comes from stress. And so sometimes
Sure.
and not all of them.
No, yeah.
Across
But
the board.
You're definitely right that changing your attitude or changing whatever kind of about your outlook can definitely have a overall impact on your health. Definitely.
Yeah.
But
Cancer,
I don't think it can make a tumor go
a
away.
little far out of reach.
You know what I
so,
mean?
yeah.
Definitely. And it is, and I was talking with somebody else about this conversation just to get more input on it. And they were saying, well, if you have cancer and, you are thinking that, just meditating, saying, this cancer will go away. I don't want it to be here. I want it to go away. All of these things, and kind of think those thoughts, then maybe it would help. And my question was, who has cancer and doesn't want it to go away? Wouldn't you already think those things? You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's because it's also different from having a good outlook of I have cancer. This is a death sentence, blah, blah, blah. Or if you're thinking I will overcome this, I'm going to defeat this, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But simply thinking if you just trying to will it away, I don't know. But maybe I would love to be wrong about that because then we found the cure for cancer. That's great.
You know the redhead from Harry Potter? Ron?
Oh, yeah, Ron Weasley, absolutely.
Yeah. You know the actor who plays?
Rupert. I almost said Rupert Murdoch, who I don't know who that is. Why do I know that name? Google Rupert Murdoch real quick. I want to make sure he's not a crazy person. Rupert, whatever.
Everything's so far away. I need to get new glasses. Rupert Murdoch. He's an American-Australian media mogul.
Cool.
You just hung out with this guy?
Maybe. I think I probably met him in a bar or something.
Okay. He was the guy telling you about the cancer stuff?
Yeah. He does a lot of yoga. Anyway. Rupert Murdoch. Yeah.
Basically, the dude, he did Harry Potter or whatever. And he, I don't know how long it's gone. Didn't really watch it, but I don't have Netflix anymore. But he got a show on Netflix about how he gets cancer, right? And then it turns out he doesn't have cancer, but he likes having cancer because everybody's nice to him and he gets to smoke weed. And so that's what I think of when I think of somebody who wants cancer, you know? Maybe they get to smoke weed and they're hope this tumor doesn't go away, you know? I don't know.
Sure, no, that's a fair argument. That would be
that's a roundabout way of me getting back to maybe we should legalize weed so all these people don't keep getting cancer just because they want to smoke.
That's funny. Yeah, it'll just people will stop. Well, that's I think that's a great idea.
I swear to God,
I had to do the mental gymnastics to figure it out.
Run for president on, I'll legalize weed to cure cancer.
Boom. 2020. Let's make it happen.
Dude, I'm just
Oh my
kind of
gosh.
mad Kanye hasn't thrown his hat in the ring yet.
His
you know?
MAGA hat.
Yeah,
ring.
you know. Talking about- dude, it's actually funny that we're talking about politics. I saw this thing on Instagram. 10 years ago today, Britney Spears was actually in a McDonald's, and she bought a little kid a Happy Meal. You know who that kid was?
Who?
Obama.
In my head, I was like, wait. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So I'm guessing he was like 30 then or something.
Sure, definitely. He was there with his mom and dad. Oh my gosh.
He's
Britney
down on his
Spears.
luck. It's crazy where he came from, being like 30, just like begging for Happy Meals, to like being the president.
One of my favorite Onion articles when Obama was running, it said black man asks the country for change. It's like, that's just such a solid joke. It's so good.
Oh my god.
It's so good. Yeah. Dude, I don't know. Britney Spears, I opened for a comedian one time, like recent, in the past, like, I don't know, 3 years or something. And
Yeah, throw that tag up
He-
there.
right. And he needed like a spot in the joke for like a pretty girl. And he was like, what is she, Britney Spears? And I was like, Britney Spears? Like, not that Britney Spears isn't attractive, but she's been relevant for, I don't 20 years or something.
Is she attractive?
Update your jokes. I mean, yeah, she's pretty hot. She's kind of a shell of a human being, I think, in the fact that she's a product of the system. But yeah.
I don't know.
What?
It's kind of orange, dude.
Find a 2019 picture. Let's see how she's looking. Cause I think she's still. How about a non-photoshopped?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm
Good
trying
luck.
I don't know.
Cause she's on what, The Voice or some whatever garbage.
She's
TV
got pretty
show
big
that is.
personality.
Hilarious.
Yeah, huge personalities.
Yeah. See, look at the one middle row.
This one?
One to the left.
This one?
Yeah, open that up. Look at her eyeballs, dude. She is so dead on the inside.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Yeah. She looks great. She's fine. But, man, I just want her to have love in her life that's not from people who worship her as a...
Well, I mean, like, I don't understand why she came back, you know? Because it seemed like when she shaved her head, it was pretty clear to everybody that she was kind of like, fuck all this. Like,
Sure.
the music industry,
Right.
everything, all these people, everything. I hate it all.
Right.
So I'm shaving my head to make a moment of this is driving me crazy. She disappeared
For a
And-
while.
for a while. And then she's like, all right, I'm back. Sorry, guys.
Well, yeah, money is the answer to that, I
You
assume.
couldn't just get
but-
a regular ass job? Like,
Just go work at McDonald's and
yeah.
serve Obama a Happy Meal.
Yeah. I mean, give back, you know? I don't know. Did you hear about Tekashi 6ix9ine going into
Witness protection. Oh, my gosh, dude. He's such an idiot.
And people like joke about how he's not going to be able to hide. It's like they got tattoo removal.
Yeah, I mean,
they're going to
he's-
remove all those tattoos,
Yeah.
but he's going to be crying like a little bitch for the next like 10 weeks because all those tattoos are going to have to get hit with that laser. Yeah. On his eyes, on his eyelids.
Oh, he's got eyelid ones?
He's got eyelid ones.
Because I know he's
all
got the
across his face.
6'9", he's got the Saw guy,
Yeah.
and he's got one under here.
He's got 69 tattoos.
Oh, does he really? Dude,
All over his chest.
how's his music? I've literally never listened to it.
That's fine. It's good that you've never heard it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not worth it, dude.
Right. I mean, because you never want to judge an artist by how they look.
Nah, you can.
If you,
It's pretty close.
in this situation,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's okay.
Dang, he has 69 tattoos.
I mean, because the thing is like the whole conversation, which it took a while for everybody to figure this out, but like 50 Cent has figured it out. I feel like he figured it out. Like he almost like had to eat. Oh yeah, turn on the pineapple. Yeah, there we go. He almost had to, eat what these young kids were serving, and then he turned around and figured out how to cook it and do it even better.
Right.
Like real quick. Which it's all just like it's attention-seeking stuff. Like,
Sure.
Where like Tekashi 6ix9ine, he ends up.
I know
going on
literally
in-
nothing about him other than he has tattoos all over his face and rainbow-colored things. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
so
it worked in that sense. But
Yeah. He tells the game he's more of a blood than him. The game is the blood rapper.
Right.
Like this guy's from New York, and no hate against New York, but like
Yeah.
that whole blood Crips thing like started in the West Coast.
Sure.
It's pretty
Yeah.
historical. And
The game, by the way, can we just? He's
What
just
about
so
him?
he's incredible. I just
Oh,
love
yeah,
him.
yeah.
He's just so good.
he was just kind of like, I mean, dude, if you want to come to the West Coast, like I'll beat the living shit.
Yeah,
out of you, 'cause
absolutely.
It's the game.
And I didn't expect him to give him the time of day. You know what I mean? But he's just like.
Well, that's what they
incredible.
didn't. That's what the whole thing was about. Is that these young rappers, they got specifically like 6ix9ine, they got like views through these like taking jabs at the older guys, and the older guys didn't realize it fast enough until people like 6ix9ine got away with it, and they were in the public eye, and it was
Gotcha.
all from just like just
Talking
like you said,
trash to the
you heard none
legends.
of his music.
Right. At all.
Neither did I. Like it was just all news stuff. Like there's this new guy, and I played some of his stuff on the Pina Radio thing, and I actually think the song I played was hilarious. The guy's called I think it's Kid Boo, I think is his name.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, let's pull this guy. Yeah, but he told everybody when he was coming up, he was doing stuff and talking, and then he disappeared for a little second, and then came back. The person who came back is actually a clone. He's trapped somewhere. That's what the clone's telling us, and the clone is releasing these music videos now.
Okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
But he's got this song
Real
called
versus
like
fake. Oh my
Mommy,
gosh.
I think, and it's like the whole song's just like suck on my dick, 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 dick. Dude, and the music video is actually hilarious. Like these two girls are about to suck his dick, and then he pulls the sheet back, and the whole time like they're like peeking in the door, and he's just got this pole that's like flipping
Sure.
back and forth under the sheet, and then he flips the sheet back for them to suck his dick, and it's his head in between like his legs, and they're like licking on his forehead
What
while
is
he's
happening?
rapping, dude. And he's got like this little squirrel that's on a fence behind him, and he's wearing like golf pants, and he's taking golf swings like suck on my dick, dude. And it's cool. Like I actually like.
Oh my gosh, it's so weird.
But apparently this guy's like 30 something, and I mean he's like
Hey, don't do that.
yeah
You're 30.
yeah.
I mean, I don't
The
know.
face tattoos.
I
it's
just don't.
too much.
Because obviously, like, the face tattoo thing is in right now, you know? Like, Post Malone got some, and...
And I like how we talk about that. Like, we talked about, like, I don't know, like we talked about Live Strong bracelets, It's
Right.
like Live Strong bracelets were in.
Yeah.
But those things, you could, yeah.
You know what I mean? That junk's there forever.
Yeah. And they talk about it that way. They're like, face tattoos are in. And it's like, yeah, you know what happens to things that are in? They go out.
Way out, dude.
Yeah.
And that is something admirable about rappers like this, where it's like they're committing to a fad so hard that they're willing to like wreck their face. And maybe some people are like, I can get it removed in a few years. But like, yo, you got tattoos on your eyelids? That's gonna hurt, man.
Yeah. And a part of me, like, I don't know if you get this ad on Instagram, but have you seen like Inkbox? Have you seen that ad? It pops up on my Instagram all the time. But it's
I don't really go on Instagram.
really? I don't know.
Yeah, I should, but
I don't know.
or Facebook.
I just flip through it for like
Sure.
just random shit, just updates
Yeah,
on stuff.
I just
but
stay on Reddit and Twitter. because
I've just started to get into Reddit
Oh my
really, and
gosh,
I
dude.
stay away from Twitter. I don't
I-
hear
I-
I don't hear anything good. Coming
yeah,
from
I'm all
Twitter.
about politics, and that's where it all goes down. So I kind of feed through that. But it's a cesspool for
Yeah.
sure. But Reddit is, it's like the only website I go on really.
It's pretty funny.
Oh my gosh, there's everything.
Every time I get pulled over there, I get some chuckles out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they've got all their like inside jokes. Like even today,
it's
like
an own community. It's weird.
yeah, like today I was looking at something, and it was like they said like one of the comments was like we're something, or I am something, we're something, they're something, and then like the last comment was like our unexpected communism.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something like
Yep,
that.
yep,
And
yep,
then there's
yep.
this whole like inside joke where like all over Reddit they'll just do that phrasing, and it's like apparently like something with Russia. And,
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know.
like half of the goodness of Reddit is the comments, because like there are just the threads that people will make and like the jokes that happen. There's this one subreddit called Ask Ouija, as in a Ouija board, but I don't mess with Ouija boards. But the thing is, you ask a question and then you leave a blank, and then one person will comment a letter, and then whatever letter gets upvoted the most, and then another person will comment a letter, and then whenever it spells out a word that people are satisfied with, they'll say that's it, or it's over, or something, and then that word that they've spelled out is the answer to it. So like one kid, or one question was like, it was like, we don't want, or like, I don't know, it was like, anti-vaxxer kids will blank, and it just said will die, like they spelled out the word die. And like, but there's some where it's like really funny. One was today, is that 90% of men are blank, and it said 90% of men are men. So it's just like stupid stuff, but it's like people like actually working together to like make a joke, which is it's
Yeah.
this weird, bizarre, it's weird, but Reddit is its own living, breathing thing. And I used to post things on there, and now I'm just like hanging back and just watching it all go down. But
What'd you post? Like our comments and shit?
yeah, I mean, I used to comment on stuff. I got on the front page once with a picture of my
What?
roommate's cat, and then I posted a meme one time, and it got on the front page, and then
Nuh-uh.
yeah,
There's a lot of stuff on there.
yeah.
How'd you do that? What was the cat doing?
The cat was wedged in between two couch cushions like that, and we had just put her kind of like that, and she was just like all happy and cute.
Cats are pretty. They'll jump up there.
Absolutely.
I can see a lot of cats.
Yeah, and then I posted a meme about something that was like topical at the moment, and it just so happened to like catch the wave or whatever. And yeah, but now it's like, it's wild. I mean, there's more and more people coming to Reddit now. That was probably, I don't know, like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that.
Have you ever thought about being like a professional memer?
Never.
Never.
No.
Like you don't want like a
I-
meme account.
I don't at all.
Oh.
Memes are great and funny,
Yeah.
but the problem with memes is that their shelf life is so short.
Yeah.
Right? Like literally sometimes within a day.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like funny, and then it'll be, because remember the weird flex but okay, like that
I
whole
hated
thing.
those.
Yeah, and it died so quick, like because everybody was just, oh, weird flex, but okay, blah, blah, blah.
But we still talk about it
Sure.
because it was super in your face
Yeah.
for like a little bit.
But it makes, there's a unique sadness in me when I see like a parent or like a mom wearing a shirt of like Grumpy Cat, and you're like, okay, that was like literally real world like 8 years ago,
Yeah.
9 years ago, something like that. And in internet time, I mean, that's, Angry Cat was dead within a year.
Yeah.
In the meme sense, but people are still like, oh, have you seen this Grumpy Cat? And you're like, dude. But also, like, people should be able to enjoy things that they want to enjoy and blah blah blah. But you are outside of the circle for sure, and it's hard because if you don't keep up with all of it, I mean, it's you have to like check in with the memes daily.
Yeah.
Which is like a weird thing that's really never existed before in like a comedy sense of like, because then you have like memes that'll be like double, triple memes, and you have to be like, oh, it's a meme combined with this, and it's in reference to that. I like tried to explain them to my parents one time, and I was like, okay, we just have to I have to explain like 6 things to you for you to get this one picture, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah, I saw a meme. It's quite possibly my favorite meme.
Okay.
Because I think it's one that I can save, and I'll be able to show my children, and
Okay.
they'll understand what memes are.
Right.
If if
Sure.
it just because it's gonna keep evolving and it's maybe just gonna die out or something. I don't know
Sure.
what's gonna happen. Maybe robots.
The internet will crash. For
yeah,
sure.
like robots. But it's like on a 4chan board.
Mhm.
And it said the title is cheese, the comment is cheese, and then it shows a wheels of cheese, and then subtitles on it says cheese.
Amazing.
And then the caption on the Instagram post is cheese.
Cheese.
And it's just like that's.
I don't know why that's funny, but that is funny.
It's funny, but it's like it's the. What I love about it is that memes like have a, like that's. Like, I see a structure of a meme. Like, I can
Right.
see it. And that's what's so interesting to me about it is that, like, now we have done this so much so fast. We have an archetype to a meme the same way there's an archetype to a knock-knock joke.
Right.
You
right.
know? Like, you
Yeah.
know how to structure a meme. And that's why, like, what you're talking about, how they come day in, day out. It's like, yesterday, they're able to do them topically by the day. Like, you're not gonna see any. You're behind if you're catching on to like the Steve Irwin
Oh my gosh, yeah.
memes and all that stuff
Right.
with PETA and stuff
yeah.
like that.
And that was what, 2 days ago or something like that?
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's
I mean,
over now.
it's done. And like we're sitting here and I mean we're talking about it because we like know like that. Like, and they were able to build them because they knew what a meme needed to look like, and they just had to fill the
Right.
slots.
It has its own format.
Yeah, which is insane, and which makes me, because when they first started talking about meme farms, I didn't understand that. Like, I didn't understand how you were just sitting around and all these people were just like pitching jokes, but they're not pitching jokes. They've got like Photoshop templates, and they're just loading pictures
Yeah.
and loading stuff in there and just shooting them out. And whatever catches traction on likes, they just keep boosting them.
Yeah, and there's a subreddit called Meme Economy
Yeah.
where people will post pictures or whatever. It'll be like, I don't know if you saw this one, but it was two guys, and they had their hand down their pants coming out their zipper, and then they were shaking hands.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And so somebody posted that picture to Meme Economy, and it was like, new meme format, ? Invest, invest, invest. And then people were just taking it, and they were, and then it became a meme. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just wild. But that's like, people will just throw stuff out there, and then the people decide, And it's this weird organic, like, production of, I don't know, it is a weird form of comedy.
Yeah.
That's like, I saw like one that I tried to explain to my parents, and I couldn't really explain it because I didn't really know why I thought it was funny. But it was, have you heard the old story of there are two wolves that live inside of you, and it's like, I think it was like, I heard it as like a Native American man was talking to his son or whatever, and he said there are two wolves that live inside of you, and they said, well, which one? Like a good wolf and a bad wolf. And he said, well, which one wins? And he said, whichever one you feed more, right? And so that's sort of like you need to, whatever. And so this picture was just like, it was like a wolf and then like kind of, like an overlaid photo of another wolf and like another wolf. And it said, there are two wolves inside of you. One is named Toby. The other one is named Toby. Both wolves are named Toby. And it was just like, I tried to explain it, and I was like, I don't really know why this is a joke, but it just made me laugh because of like the absurdity of it, and I don't really know what it means, but, and like my dad he was like, yeah, because like, the wolves and like Toby's a person name and like not for a wolf, and I was like, yes, but that's also
That's not it.
no, but it's just such a bizarre. How do you explain that to somebody? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't know.
Well, and that's also like sometimes memes remind me of like when people did those like the anti-jokes. Like, you
Yeah.
remember those
Mhm.
where it was like, what's green and has wheels? Grass, I lied about the wheels.
Right,
like,
right.
it's just like, it's like, good. But, like, they're just like, somebody showed, I saw a picture of, like, it was like, memes in so-and-so time, and it showed, like, it showed the little cat with the Pop-Tart body or
Mhm.
whatever, and then it showed, like, the troll face, and then it's, like, memes nowadays, and it was, like, it just showed a picture of grass, and it said, "This is not grass." It was just like, yeah, like, that's,
Oh, gosh,
that's
it's
a,
so
that's
accurate.
a meme. Like,
I just don't even understand what happened. It's so wild. I mean, also there's a subreddit anti-jokes, and then there's anti-jokes.
some jokes?
No, it's
And are-
like anti-jokes, but they're playing off of anti-jokes. So it'll be like,
It's so abstract. at
yeah,
that point.
absolutely. It's like what's green and has wheels. It's like, Karen, please come back. You're just like, oh my gosh. It's like, it's so deep in the. Oh gosh, I'm gonna knock the pineapple over.
No, you're good.
But yeah, it's you just get like so deep into it to the point where you're like, oh my gosh. And then there's another subreddit called Surreal Memes, which is just like, it's like, a picture of like a floating head with a cabin, and he's like, you can't come in my cabin unless you have the broken eggshells. And it's like a picture of a guy with broken eggshells. And you're just like, I don't know. I'm at a loss here. But like the absurdity of it is just like so funny. I don't know.
Dude, Adult Swim tapped into that
Yes.
like a long time ago.
Big
where,
time.
Like, I would show people, like, and they even got weirder on their YouTube channel to where you could go like watch some of their YouTube videos, and like one of my favorite YouTube videos of all time is Adult Swim's Too Many Cooks.
Absolutely.
Dude, there's no, like, people like ask you, they're like, but what, like, who is this guy? Like, what's the reference? Like, what is he like?
What's
And
he
it's-
from? And
yeah,
you're
it's
like,
it's
you don't.
Not from
it's
anything.
not. This is the whole thing.
Yeah,
this is it.
all of it together. And they're like, why does the
No.
cat press the button? It's like,
It's
stop. Like,
is this a actual TV show? And you're like, dude, you're just not gonna get it.
Yeah.
You're just not gonna get it. And but like it's such a beautiful piece of artwork because you just keep watching, and it's just like gets more and more outrageous, and yeah. So
well, my favorite part is to show it to somebody who's never seen it before, and it's
Just-
always like maybe 30-second to 45-second mark where
Yeah.
they go, "Is it just this the whole time?" And you just have to look at them and just go, "Just keep watching."
just watch, just watch.
And they're like, "But it's 11 minutes."
Yeah. Yes, it is. Oh my gosh. It's weird because also like Tim and Eric are sort of in that realm, but not really. Where like I didn't get Tim and Eric the first like 2 seasons. I didn't really understand it because like I was like every bit just ends with like somebody with like jam on their face. You know what I mean? It's just like some weird. You know what I
Like
mean?
the spaghetti bits.
Yeah, just spaghetti. And you're just it's this weird like comedy, but once you watch enough of it,
Yeah.
it clicks, and you're
Uh-huh.
like, but I don't know how to explain what clicked in my brain. You know, but you're just like, oh my gosh, like there's one, I mean, like it's free real estate. You know what I mean? Like, why is that funny? But it just is like this. It's so bizarre. It's
Because
so
it
weird.
almost feels like, it feels like did you ever do those like
Heroin?
yeah
That's how you get the memes.
Yeah, that's how you get 'em.
Shoot up.
but no, like when your teacher in elementary school, I can't remember when exactly this happened, but they would tell you, get your idea for your paper, and you'd write that in a circle, and then you'd have, you were gonna write 5 paragraphs because that's an essay, and you draw out the 5 paragraphs in other circles, and it was like a brainstorm web.
Oh,
Like,
I've never done that.
You never
no.
did that?
Mm-mm.
For me, like whenever I see like Tim and Eric
Yeah.
videos, how like I rationalize why like I'm laughing is because instead of starting with a main idea,
Yeah.
they started with all the small bubbles.
Right.
And then they went in. And so
Right.
the commonality is something that hasn't existed before, but the commonality is this. And so when they
Right.
do something like free real estate, like you feel like a real estate commercial and you also feel like a con man, but you're like, why is this hasn't existed
Right.
before? And they're bringing it together, and then
Right.
you're just like, this is why it's funny, because it's like, it's relatable, but it doesn't exist.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's definitely. So did you watch Tim and Eric? They did a
The $1 billion movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
They have a trial, like a court trial, where Tim is like the lawyer and the defendant, but there's like 7 15-minute episodes, and it's like it's more realistic than you would think it would be for being Tim and Eric.
Yeah.
But it's like Tim Heidecker just kind of like being a little crazy and like screaming at people. And he's like, I'll kill you, like being the lawyer. And
Yeah.
the judge is like, what are you doing? But it's like, there's like, I mean, I don't know, an hour and a half of it. And it's just like up on YouTube. And you're just like, it's not like for anything. I don't think
Yeah.
it was on TV. I think it's just like a web series. But it's also, it's not like overtly weird and funny like the rest of Tim and Eric stuff is. And so I was watching it and I'm just like, I don't know. It's just another one of those things where you're like, it's a courtroom, but it's also like absurdist humor. And it's also like weird play on like judge court TV shows a little bit. And like kind of, because like in the past, I don't know, like 10 years, like several videos like that have come out of like the Michael Jackson trial videos came out. And like, you know, you watch all of these depositions and stuff like that and politics and all this. And so they were kind of playing off that. And there's just nobody like that who makes content like that
Yeah.
other than those two guys.
Well, and
It's
also
very weird.
sometimes I think it's just like the they can almost only make that video because it's them. Like
Right.
you're expecting something wild and crazy, and then they create this long thing, and it's just this constant anticipation of it just going down this crazy
Yeah.
road, and they just pull you through this grueling trial or
Right.
whatever, and then you just get to the end, and it's just like, that's it.
Yes.
And it's like, fuck you.
Right, exactly.
Like, you watch this, you idiot. And you're
Yeah.
just sitting there going like, why are my teeth grinding?
Right.
Like,
Oh,
it's like waiting
gosh.
for it.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's weird, man. The internet has spawned some strange corners of comedy.
Did you ever get into like Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared? It's like a puppet show.
Oh.
It's like a play on kids shows, but it's like satire of kids
no.
shows.
I don't actually think I've heard of that.
Dude.
Pull up just like a title card for it.
Yeah, you should check this out. They just got picked up by Conoco.
Yeah.
So like they're gonna do like another series. But
Oh, yeah. So I've seen that before, like those characters before, but
Yeah.
I've never watched it.
yeah, so they did like 6 episodes, and then they just kind of like disappeared off the internet, and everybody was like wondering what was happening to it, because there's kind of like a narrative to the episodes, but it's
Right.
really choppy and hard to decipher.
Right.
And then just like I'd say like 3 months ago, they released like a 30-second trailer for like a new like series of episodes.
Amazing.
But at the end of it, it was like big companies behind it
Oh,
instead
nice.
of just whoever's making these.
Dude, that's awesome.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it, but it's like stuff like this where they just take everyday normal stuff and they put it in like the wrong situation,
Yeah.
and they just make like
They kind of
your
like
body-
bastardize it a little bit.
Yeah, they make your body like just not feel right, because it's just like nothing in that should be where it is.
Right.
And so like, and it's also giving you the feel of a kid's show, so you're just
Right.
like uncomfortable with the uncomfortableness
Yes.
that they're presenting you.
Right.
And yeah, like, so these people give me that feel. And then there's another YouTube channel called Everything Is Terrible, and they I guess this person just digs through kids cartoons, and they're like kids cartoons I've never even seen before, and he just puts up clips from them, and they're just not done well,
Ugh.
and they're like
Unsettling.
really unsettling. Like the costumes are bad, and so like, but there's these little kids with these adults dressed really poorly, and like the
Ugh.
lighting's not good, and like,
Ugh.
and you're just sitting there, and like sometimes he'll take out like you can tell he's taken out like backing tracks, and so it's just the like
Silence.
audio, and you're just like, oh my gosh, stop this!
Yeah.
Like,
What's that one called?
Everything is terrible.
Okay, I definitely have to look that up.
And it's just
Did you ever watch Happy Tree Friends and Friends?
yeah.
And that's that same vein of it, like happy little characters getting, ground up in meat grinders and stuff, and you're just like, what is happening?
Yeah, like
I really
yeah.
liked that show, though. It was really funny.
Yeah, and they went for a while.
They did, and there was like no audio. It was like Sims language. They would just be like,
But you understood what was happening when the eye was getting cut off.
for sure. Yeah,
Just, like,
you're
pulled
like,
out of
I
his-
got it.
Well, and it's also it's just like putting something that's very kid friendly in a scary situation. Like
Sure.
I always thought the reason that what is it? The what's that game? The Frankie's something game.
Oh,
where the animatronic
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Freddy's, yeah. All that, like every time I saw it, I'm just like, oh, you mean like Chuck E. Cheese?
Right.
Like that's all it reminded me of. The animatronic little things at Chuck E. Cheese, and it's just like
Absolutely.
we were all there, and that's why it's so scary because
Right.
we all had those interactions when we were kids, where like we would look up, and it's like our brains are processing like facial structures, and we're like. Usually something that big that moves is one of us,
yeah.
but that's not right. Like,
Yeah.
but why is that not right?
Right.
And like,
So there's something called the uncanny valley, which happens actually a lot in sex dolls, but it's the idea that something a robot will be so human-like that the more human-like it becomes, we really like it, and then there's a point that it becomes too human-like and we like repulse from it.
Yeah.
Like we don't like it at all. And so they have like like androids that like are, I don't know if you saw like that robot who's like an AI that they had on like a talk show or something, and she was like, hello, I am so and so and I like to whatever. And so like but the more realistic they make them, our bodies like naturally like recoil because
Yeah.
it's something's up, and I think our like inner lizard brain like knows that,
yeah,
and it's
like that's not one of us,
right.
And we should be like looking
Wary
around
of it.
to other monkey people, going like,
Right.
yo, like,
yo
check that
you
one
see
out.
this?
That's not us. That's a
Yeah.
wolf in sheep's clothing.
Definitely, yeah. And there's something it's bizarre. It's a weird thing. Google Uncanny Valley and see what comes up. There was also another part or a time in my childhood when I was at Chuck E. Cheese and the curtains were closed on the stage.
Yeah,
And I like went behind the curtain and I put my hand on Chuck E. Cheese's foot and its head just went and looked down at me, and it bothered me forever. I was so scared because I think it was just like resting or something, or I,
Yeah.
like, wiggled it or something like that. But I was like, just like actually horrified. Yeah, so like look at that. It's like that the fourth one from the right is that one right there. No. Yeah,
no, I saw it,
that was
yeah.
the one that was on the TV show. But yeah, so see how it's like human-like, but like almost not, and you're just like something is funky here.
yeah, you can tell, but you don't. Yeah,
I don't.
who even is that?
I think that's supposed to be Snoop Dogg,
Yeah, no.
and that's not at all Snoop Dogg. Yeah, it's all very weird, and look at that baby.
Yeah, and I think that's why people don't like this Polar Express picture that just popped up. Like, I think that's why people don't like Polar Express.
I love Polar Express.
With like the animation.
No, but I get why people are weirded out by the
Yeah,
animation.
because I mean, I don't care how good that movie is.
Right.
That animation, I hate it.
Yeah,
like every single movie that's made in that animation.
That was like kind of early on in like the motion capture animation days.
Look at her.
Yeah, she's unsettling, definitely.
I don't like that.
Ugh, but it's weird. It's real weird.
Yeah, I mean,
Robots are so gonna take over.
yeah, probably. I'm glad it's not like like I'm glad I got to live. I'm glad like me personally like I'm getting to live like in my good years, you know, without like robot takeover. Like my children is gonna suck.
Yeah.
You know, like they're gonna have to like
Bummer
be
for
fighting a
them.
war and stuff. But
Whatevs.
like I mean, I'm getting to fuck and drink and have a good time.
You know,
so,
that's all that matters, really.
yeah. I mean, maybe I just won't have kids because I feel like that's kind
No,
of an
definitely
asshole
have
thing.
them. No, you should have them because we need
Yeah.
somebody to fight the robots.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna be old, you know.
Yeah,
So
that's
we need
true.
to build an army at least.
Yeah. Do you ever think like that's the reason they don't like encourage us to adopt? Because I feel like there's a lot of kids that need adopting, but yet like everybody keeps pushing in media to like have more kids. You think they're like preparing for like a war
I think
constantly?
so, definitely.
Like maybe not robots, but like they're always preparing for some war, and they're just like the more people we have, if we can
The
keep them
better.
fed, yeah.
Because we're outnumbered by a couple countries on our planet, and who knows how many aliens are out there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So we need to be prepared for all possibilities.
Yeah, and if any country were about to take on like another planet at this point, it'd probably be like us.
For sure.
I don't think India would be ready for that.
No. China.
China maybe. Like us and China would probably like pair up and be like, all right, y'all like stay back, like make sure, like you know global warming and shit. But we're gonna go.
We're
like,
gonna go to space.
Yeah, we're gonna go take over. Some
We're gonna
shit.
mess up some aliens up
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, just hold down the fort for a little bit.
Dude, did you see in China? So do you know what CRISPR is?
Yeah,
So they edited.
they made that illegal here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because
I think
it got
so.
out of control because they were selling kits for a while.
Yeah, and you could like do it in your garage.
Yeah,
Which
Which-
is
woo.
that's wild. But they just made twins in China, and they edited their genes so that they would like be the most identical that they could, or something. And it came out later after the babies were born that they also edited their brains to make them like smarter, and so they're gonna watch those kids and like test them to see if they. So then, if we can start editing people's brains to make them smarter, China, we don't stand a chance, dude.
I mean, well,
Because China outnumbers us by, I mean, what is there like a 1.5
yeah,
billion of them or something like that?
is a lot. I don't know.
What's the population of China? But yeah, they're way older than us, so they have like had time to figure stuff out. How many Chinese?
That's it, right? Dude, I love how that gives me my answer.
Of course it does. 1.3.
I mean, there's Midwesterners on Google too, so
That's true.
1 point.
How many Chinese? They're
Daryl!
shoving cheese in their face.
Daryl, ask Google how many of the Chinese are around the world.
Alexa, how many Chinese?
There are 5 Chinese restaurants in your area.
Dude, yeah, 1.3 billion, and we're
20%.
and we're what, 400,000? No, 400 million. I mean,
300.
we're growing. How many American? There you go.
308.
As of when? 2010.
Last census, yeah.
So
Yeah, 400. That makes sense. How many people in the U.S. in 2018?
yeah, 327.
Ah, dang.
Wow, we need to get those numbers up, people. Come on.
Yeah, but do we want to? I don't want to be packed into one of those. I don't know.
You know the entire population of the world, I think, could live
Yeah.
in Texas if we lived as the same density as people do in Manhattan. So
Do we
we're
want to live in that density?
no, but we're far from running out of room. Is my point.
Yeah, I'm just like, I just don't want to live, like, you know, I mean, if we're going to expand, like, let's fill up the middle a little bit, you know?
Sure.
Or fill up those places where, I mean, like, I feel like, you know, let's let the other places catch up before, like, everybody has to start feeling, like, let's not pump people into New York, you know?
Sure.
Like, maybe, like,
If you're in New York, you can't have kids.
yeah.
I think that's a good rule.
Like, it's what is it? It's like not equality of kids, but equity of kids. So like people, I think I'm using that right. Where it's like people like in areas with not a lot of people have to have more kids than people
Gotcha. I'm tracking,
So
yeah.
like New York would be like 0, but you go to like
Kansas.
Kansas. It's like
6.
You gotta have like 20.
Yeah, you got to crank them out.
Which I think that would incentivize people to move to Kansas.
Yeah, you want to have more kids? Move to the middle of the country.
Like you'd be getting paid just like bang.
Yeah.
Probably because there'd probably be like tax incentives.
Sure. Yeah, you get like $3,000 back on your taxes just for having a child.
Yeah.
I learned that recently. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That's why. I mean, I don't know. Also, a child, it's just like a pet that outlives you. You gotta
Like a
take care of
parrot.
them, like a parrot, or a tortoise.
Yeah.
Yeah, they live for a long time. It's
SunTrust.
Oh, the orange drink company,
The drink.
SunTrust.
Yeah, the bank.
Drink your
monies.
monies away.
Yeah, they're being assholes to me right now.
Yeah.
Tried to go over to Harris Teeter at about 3 a.m. last night to get a gallon of milk. And,
As you do.
yeah. And, okay, so here's the problem. I was trying to get a gallon of milk, and one of the big boxes of, like, Keurig coffee pods, and I brought them up, and they declined my card, and I had to use cash, but I didn't have enough cash to get both, so I just got the gallon of milk. But so I've been trying to call them, but they keep having like a 30 to 35 minute wait. So I keep like hanging up and then like calling back, thinking it'll get shorter, but the line doesn't keep getting shorter. But I think that's them calling me back, so that's pretty cool. I didn't know.
Nice. And you can't answer.
I mean, I could. Do you want to talk to?
I mean, I'll handle it.
Yeah, just on the podcast now. Enter your PIN number. All right, 24. Yeah. Do you got any like Are you actually like gonna go up like tonight at Sparrow?
Yeah.
You are?
Mhm.
Are you doing something like, I mean, like this might be like your last night at Sparrow.
Yeah, I'm probably
you
going to bust out some old jokes.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, have you been like do you have like I don't know, like do you have like a special joke you're going to like end on or
I
something?
don't think so. I'm probably just going to be like make it mushy at the end and just be like, I love you guys. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, don't be scared. Like, this is going to air after that, so you're not going to be like ruining anything. Like,
yeah, I think I don't know, because some of the people were saying that they were gonna write roast jokes.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think I'm probably gonna do my virgin material, because I'm sure that's gonna come up a whole bunch.
Yeah.
And
Dude, I like your virgin material. I like the one where you talk about sticking your finger in the hamburger.
ooh, yeah,
That one's a really good one.
come out and see it live.
Yeah.
I always I forgot about that tag. That's funny.
Well, because
I haven't done it in so long.
You said it was like you were always you saw these every time you did it. You always come up and go, "Oh, it makes me feel weird."
Yeah, it did. It's so uncomfortable. I don't like it. But
Because all I imagine is you sticking your finger in like a female version of the Hamburglar. And she's just like, "Oh, not there."
oh gosh. Yeah, it's uncomfortable as all get out. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see. It's gonna be fun though.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of people from work coming, so it's gonna. Are you coming out tonight?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You're
I was
not
actually
going to.
yeah, no, I'm not actually. I was about to say, I was like, why am I not? I'm not going. Derek Geezy's actually going to be on the podcast tonight.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's going to talk about some fitness.
Tell him I love him.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in
Well,
forever.
I haven't seen him either. I just like saw him on Snapchat.
Word.
With a picture of it was a black and white picture of the gym, and he was like, "Time to crank it out." And I was like, let's have him come on here and talk about some fitness, because I've been into some fitness lately. I'm actually in like a sober October challenge.
Heck yeah.
With a friend of mine. We're on day so Friday would be 8, 9, 10, 11. We're on the 11th day.
Congrats, dude. That's
So
awesome.
no nicotine, no
Oh
alcohol.
wow. I was wondering where your jewel was.
Yeah, dude, I'm off
How's it been going?
It's good. I mean, I think about it every once in a while. But I mean, the first like 2 days, it was like I would get in fights with like inanimate objects, but like since then those have like kind of settled.
Sure.
Like I got.
I was wondering why your fridge was destroyed, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. I mean, there's
a
a lot of-
baseball bat. Sure.
But yeah, it's just like finding shit to do.
Yeah, fill your day with.
Yeah, and I mean we talked about this,
Yeah.
like, but we also said you got to run like you got to run like 8 miles a week, and you got to work out in the gym 2.5 hours for the week. And so
Okay.
that takes up time. Like that helps
Sure.
me like go to sleep at night. I've found
Yeah,
like
be
if I
tired.
go run or do like 30 minutes in the gym, like I like but it is weird because it's just like, you know, you're just kind of like when the first time I went down there, I just had to run a couple times because I kept going down there and forgetting. I'm like, I don't know what to do in the
Sure.
gym.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then I like went on Instagram, like followed a bunch of like workout accounts and sifted through the guys just going like, you just gotta get your head in the mentality of a monster.
You're
And,
like,
I'm just
alright.
like, that's not like, what do I pick up?
Right.
Like-
Which ones? Like how many times?
Yeah.
Like give
Yeah.
me some logistics here.
Yeah. So then you follow the logistical ones,
Yeah.
and those help.
I did that. In college, I was like the most in shape I've ever been because I had a friend who was studying kinesiology, and he would like call me every day. He's like, "Come on, man, we're going to the gym," and I would just like do whatever he told me.
Yeah.
And I like got in really good shape. And then I would like go back to the gym on my own, and I'd be like, I don't remember anything I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And like machines are helpful with that, where it's like they have like instructions on the side. They're like, it's gonna work out these muscles, and you do it this many times and whatever. But I don't know, it's good. You feel great.
Oh yeah.
You feel terrible, but you also feel great.
Yeah. Well, I kind of do like, and that's why I'm trying to get some people on to talk about it more, just so I can learn more. But
Yeah.
basically, what I'm doing right now is just kind of like cycling through arms, back, core, and legs, and doing like a certain thing for each of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like this picture I have saved of like doing those, and then like I take notes on each one every time. So like if I'm like, this is too much, my arms are getting shaky,
Mhm.
like I pull back a little bit, and cause like I'm like trying to focus on like form, and I hear a lot from like like some like I've seen some podcasts with like some UFC trainers,
Mhm.
and they talk about how they want their fighters to be in the gym every single day. And the way they do that is they don't work out until like failure. So if you're waking up the next day and you're so sore that like you should be sore, but like
Right.
if you're so sore like you get into the gym and you can't do what you did yesterday,
Right.
that's not good. Like cuz
Gotcha.
so like it's like so I'm trying to get in there like every single day instead of doing like the
Like destroying yourself.
destroying myself, having a day of just like and then
can't
the
extend
next
my
day
arms, yeah.
trying to get back into it. Like it's just
Sure.
so, but
Man, that's yeah, I had a gym membership with Planet Fitness for like 3 years, and I went probably like 15 times grand total.
yeah,
And you have to cancel in person. They don't let you cancel over the phone.
dude, that's
dirty.
That's the gig right there.
Because they're like, you already know I'm not going to get off the couch to come work out. I definitely don't want to come there to quit. And then I got so broke that I was like, oh, yeah. I gave them so much money. And that's the other thing. I didn't know this, but like Planet Fitness, if all the people that had memberships came and worked out, they wouldn't have the supplies to support all of them. So they bank on people not working out.
Oh, I mean, I was just about to say, like, can you imagine how much money they make off of that one statement
Oh my gosh.
that you have to come in to cancel? Like, I don't know. I mean, I know multiple people, like, in my life that have talked to me before about having, like, gym memberships, and then, like, I don't hear anything else about it. So it's just kind of like, if you're not talking about it, like, probably not, going.
Probably not doing it.
Yeah, so it's just like, where, like, are you still paying that? Like,
Right.
you cancel that, or what's the deal?
Yeah, and so I canceled mine, and I asked my sister for a like one of those pull-up bars you put in a doorway.
Yeah.
And I just like did that for a while, and like
Yeah.
did push-ups and stuff, and
Dude, push-ups are crazy. Like, following those, like, accounts I was telling you
Yeah.
about, like, it's insane how much just doing a lot of squats, some crunches, pull-ups and push-ups can do.
Yeah.
Like that's almost like you're doing some like especially with push-ups, like you're doing chest, arms, and core just in that.
And I, for a while, like when I was kind of starting to get into like the working out just at home, I would just do like 20 push-ups every night before I went to bed. And like that was literally all I did. And because I saw somebody on Reddit, they were like, you know, doing like 20 push-ups before bed every night is better than doing nothing. And you'll see results from that even if you do nothing else. And I did. And then I figured out if I did 30 push-ups every night, then that would be more. And then you just kind of build like a small whatever. Or like every time before I got in the shower, I'd crank out like, you know, 10 or 15 pull-ups and then just like, and then you like build muscle over time. Because like when I got that bar, I could do like 6 pull-ups and then I can do more now, which is like also cool to be able to like, because it's your own body weight. So you're like, and you can kind of like, I rationalized it and like motivated myself and be like, if I'm on the side of a cliff and I can't pull my own body up off of it because I'm weak, I deserve to die.
Yeah. No, but for real, like, I mean, like.
And, I mean, I don't want to be the dude that dies in the apocalypse because I'm out of shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I need to run, but I hate running more than literally. I played soccer, and I just hated every minute of it. I like playing soccer, but I hated the running that we had to do to train for soccer.
See, out of the 2 like workout challenges we have, the running one is the easiest for me.
Really?
Yeah, because I can just like, if like
just zone out.
Yeah, you just zone out. Put on a podcast, like just I set the tempo, and like I just keep going, and like I just keep going, and then
I hate it more than anything.
sometimes like the best thing is when like you drift a little bit more into like your next mile. And you're just like, dude, I'm just gonna finish one more.
Yeah,
just one more.
my sister's a huge runner. She just runs like miles at a time.
Usually they're skinny.
How dare you? How dare you?
Sorry. I'm trying to get that $3,000 back on my tax return. So if I keep making jokes like this, I think I can trick the IRS.
Definitely, for sure. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's I don't know. Running's just a nightmare in my head because it's also like because you know people say like put on a podcast, put on music, you know, think about stuff, whatever, and all I can think about is how much my legs hurt. That's it.
Yeah.
I can't let my mind wander. Maybe it's because I'm too ADD, but I just can't. I don't know. I also can't like do anything for 20 minutes. You know what I mean? But I did. There was a short period in my life where I went running every day, and I would just run for 20 minutes. And
so you have like done it?
Oh yeah,
like,
I've
days
tried.
in a row before.
Yeah. And it does get easier. You can run longer each time, and then you're less winded, and you kind of you get a runner's high, and then
Dude, I love that shit.
yeah, and then you're like oh, you know, kind of look forward to it, and then I just like stopped. I was like, you know what's better than running? Not running. And I just like stayed on the couch. But yeah, and then I lost a bunch of weight, and because I also like changed my diet. That was like a big thing. I stopped eating like 4,000 calories a day. And just ate like a lot of chicken and rice for like 8 months, and I lost like 40 pounds. But because I would like go to fast food places just out of like laziness, and you know I'll spend like $13 every time I go to McDonald's or something, and you know you eat that. You know,
It's kind of a lot for McDonald's.
yeah, I usually get. Actually, I went to McDonald's last week, and I got a Big Mac because they have a Big Mac with bacon on it now, and I got a Big Mac with bacon, large fries, large drink, and then 2 McDoubles, and I ate all of it.
What's a McDouble?
Just a tiny double cheeseburger.
Oh.
And what's a McDouble?
I don't.
When was the last time you were at McDonald's?
My grandfather died like 2 weekends ago, and
Oh,
so
I'm
we
sorry.
had to go to McDonald's because that's what you do when you're on road trips.
Sure. Did you enjoy it?
My grandfather's death?
Yes. Was he killed by McDonald's?
He was pretty fat. It was actually heart issues. So, but I don't think it was McDonald's. He ate Sonic a lot. But McDonald's, no, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not like, I mean, I'll eat it, but then like all that stuff, like Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, like it's not something I'm like, oh, I want to go back to this. Like, and it's never something that's like, I don't want to stop and go through a drive-through. I don't want to.
Right.
I'm not gonna go there to go in to eat because like I don't
Yeah.
like the environment.
Sure. I get that.
I don't like dealing with the people. The people are shit who
Mhm.
work. I don't know. Like it's just all that stuff. So I like Uber Eats though. Uber Eats is cool.
Yeah. I just don't like paying $30 for a $10 meal. It's just a lot of money. Like, I could just drive to McDonald's. I mean, there's like the delivery charge, and then you have to tip the guy, and it's like an
You
extra.
don't have to tip the guy if they do a shit job. Most of the people who come here, they don't know how to get to my apartment complex. So
Yeah.
if I have to walk all the way down the stairs and come find you, usually I'm just like, yeah, you. I might give you $1.
That's fair. I get that. But McDonald's is probably one of my favorite food places
Really?
in the world. Oh my gosh, their fries are just unbelievable. It's garbage. It's terrible for you.
Yeah.
It's not real food. It's full
They're
of
so like
preservatives.
soft and floppy though.
I like soft and floppy fries, and I also like crunchy fries. So
Oh.
I'll take them any way they come.
Where are the best crunchy fries at?
Arby's has good curly fries, and those have a nice crunch to them.
I do like Arby's
Wendy's changed their fries a couple years
fries.
ago.
The sea salt ones.
They're really good.
Those are pretty good.
I don't know. I've been going to Chick-fil-A a lot more recently. Their breakfast. I never really had their breakfast a bunch, but their
Yeah.
biscuits are like... Because I would go to Bojangles all the time because I love Bojangles. I'd get the ham biscuits and grape jelly, and you put it on there, and it's like so good. But then I started trying Chick-fil-A biscuits, and their biscuits are like so much better, which I didn't think was possible. But they are.
Chick-fil-A is pretty good company.
They
make
are.
some good food.
Cookout as well.
Mm.
I ate a lot of Cookout. You know, like Cookout?
I mean, it's not like you're getting what you're paying for.
Yeah, well, and that's, I think, one of the big reasons I like it is you can pay $6 and you get a burger and a bacon wrap and a quesadilla,
A heart
and
attack.
a milkshake, and all that.
Yeah.
And that funded me through a lot of my poor times because it's.
Well, that was also like right next to the college campus. you
So
were
that
at.
wasn't there when I went to college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't. They built
What?
it after I graduated. That Wendy's was right there. So I got a bunch of junior bacon cheeseburgers and all that. But yeah, I was slightly angry but happy when I saw that they were building it because I was like, you couldn't have done this 5 years ago, and I would
Yeah.
have put this place out of business. Like, oh my gosh! And their milkshakes. I mean, they're just incredible.
Long list.
Yeah, I get a peanut butter Oreo Reese's cup. That's what I do.
Fuck.
It's a lot. And then the shake lasts me like 3 days because I can't eat the whole thing.
Oh.
Because I'll eat like the food and then I'll like throw it in the freezer and go back.
I
Sometimes
usually
I'll eat
get
the
like
whole thing.
vanilla.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't like all that. Like they put like watermelon in it.
I haven't tried or I did try the watermelon one time.
That doesn't seem right.
It-
It's milk. Why are
yeah.
you putting fruits in milk?
It's like a smoothie. I
Yeah.
mean, it was weird for sure, but gosh, I'm so hungry.
Yeah, the more I'm talking about this, I'm like leaning into it because I want to, but like my stomach's like killing me right now just thinking about all this stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause
I'm probably going to get McDonald's on the way home if I'm being honest.
Damn, dude.
I asked my mother one time if she was on death row, what her last meal would be. She said McDonald's cheeseburger, fries, and a chocolate milkshake.
The fuck?
No, I support that. I am my
Why?
mother's son, for sure.
Good God.
There's
so much better food
no, there's
out
nothing like those salty fries, and my mouth is literally watering. I'm so hungry. I'm getting McDonald's.
there. Have
on
you
the way
ever been
home.
to Five Guys before?
Yeah, Five Guys burgers are amazing and killer.
Yeah.
But I don't like McDonald's burgers aren't good burgers necessarily. Like there are much better burgers. Five Guys,
Yeah.
stinking. I mean, I think Wendy's has probably better burgers, but I like McDonald's because it's McDonald's,
Yeah.
not because it's like high quality food.
But you can't throw the peanuts on the floor at McDonald's either.
That's true. Lone Star, that was a restaurant in
Yeah.
up in Virginia that you could do that.
I think they get mad at you now. Like I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't
that
think you're
wasn't-
supposed to throw them on the floor.
I was always told growing up that you could just throw them on the floor.
Yeah.
And I went downtown recently and I was just eating the peanuts and chucking them on the floor.
Yeah.
And like no one else was doing it. And I was like, these guys have never been to Five Guys. And I'm like looking over and like the guy like there's like a guy like leaning on a broom just shaking his head just
Yeah.
like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
And I'm just like, Five Guys, right?
Yeah, this is so great. You literally haven't ordered a burger. You're just eating the peanuts.
Dude, I've gone in there so fucking drunk like right before they've closed and just been like, hey, so like can I just get like some peanuts? And they're just like, are you getting anything else? I'm like, no, but like come on.
Oh
And
my
they're just
gosh.
like, they're like, fine. And you're just like, I like get like one of the big to-go cups.
Oh.
Just fill it up.
You're a monster.
Then you just throw all the shells on their floor right before they're about to close. No, I don't do that. Just straight dump them.
You eat them outside and then come back in and dump them in there. One of the
This ain't Five Guys. This is Five Guys.
one of drunk burger stories. So back when I drank, I worked at TGI Fridays because my life was going how I wanted it to, and I got drunk and then I was just gonna sleep in my car. And so I threw my keys like in the back seat because I heard a story that like if your keys are in the ignition, then you can still get a DUI for that or something. But I was told that by a drunk person, so like who knows? So anyway, so I pass out in my driver's seat and I come to, and I'm on the outside of my car banging on my driver's side window. And once I kind of like figured out what I was doing, I could see my keys on the seat, and I was knocking, hoping that they would unlock the door for me and let me in. And I literally was like, and so my parents didn't like me drinking, but they were always like, call us and we'll come get you and all this stuff. And so it was like literally 4:00 in the morning. And I called my dad and I was like, hi, I locked my keys in my car. I'm over at such and such at Fridays. And so while I was waiting for him, I walked like 2 blocks away was an IHOP, which are 24 hours. And I walked in and the dude looked at me. He was like, hey, I was like visibly still drunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, 1, please. And he like sat me down. And they have a bacon, egg, and cheese burger.
Yeah.
So it's like a bacon cheeseburger with an egg on it. And I like ordered one of those. And I like handed him the menu. And he goes, long night? And I was like, oh. It was just like all I said. And he brought the burger. And I just like sensually ate that thing. It was
Yeah.
like so good and so incredible. My dad came and picked me up, and I went home, and it was great. But I remember that being one of the best burgers I've ever had in my life. And I threw it up the next day. But it was actually I was at my parents' house, and I like was in bed, and I was had the wobbles, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna puke, and I ran to the bathroom and made it, and I puked. Toilet lid was still down, just all over the walls and the shower curtain.
At your parents' house?
Mm-hmm. And so then I tried my best to like drunkenly like clean it all up. And then I went back to bed, and my dad came in the next morning and was like, hey, bud. It's like, you throw up last night? And I was like, no. And he goes,
No.
go clean the bathroom up. And I was like, okay. I don't drink anymore, so
Yeah.
praise the Lord. It wasn't awesome.
I remember there was a night where I'm trying to think of how this all started. I think I was just like, I went out to the bar. Oh, yeah. I went out to the bar with like a friend of mine, and she was just in town for a little bit, and she was kind of like, I don't really want to go out, but like that's like all I was doing at the time. So
Sure.
I was like, if you want to see me, like I'm gonna be out and like I'm going downtown.
Right.
And she's like, okay. So like I forced her to come downtown
Sure.
with me, and I'm like downtown at the bar having fun, and then like I run into this guy who's like selling these drugs like I don't come across a ton. And I was like, I'll have some. And like, so I get some. And she's like, we probably shouldn't be doing those at a bar. And I was like, I'm going to do them. And so I was doing them. And then she was like, it's getting late. And I was like, no, it's not. Because I just didn't get the hint.
Right.
And so she left. And then I'm just hanging out with these guys. And then I walk to their, and I'm like smacked at this point.
Yeah.
And then, I walked to their place, and then we're doing more of these drugs I don't usually get, and then like all my money in my wallet's gone for some reason, like because I spin it on all these drugs.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I'll just go to an ATM
Yeah.
because they didn't accept debit, and so
The guys who had the drugs didn't accept
yeah,
debit.
they didn't.
Got it.
I
Sure.
don't know. But so I just leave, but I'm just
Off
having
your
a hard
rocker, yeah.
having a hard time walking straight, and like I'm just walking around downtown. Like at the time I didn't realize, but like now I realize like we waited till the bar closed, then I went back to their place, spent all of my money I had in cash, so it was around like 3 to 4 in the morning,
Sure.
and I'm just walking around downtown looking for an
Yikes,
ATM, and finally find an ATM, pull out a lot of money, and put it in my pocket. Still just walking around alone downtown like 4 a.m. And then I realized I don't know how to get back to their place.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And so I was hitting up, because whenever I get kind of drunk, I start like messing around on Tinder.
Sure.
And I was hitting up this one Tinder girl, and she was like saying how she like worked nights, but she didn't have to work that night, but her sleep schedule was messed
Yeah.
up. So like she was up,
Yeah.
and like she was like asking like she had been talking to me, and I'd just been telling her what was up, like what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "What are you up to now?" And I just told her what I was up to, and I was like, "I don't know where their house is." And she's like, "Do you want me to come pick you up?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
And so she picks me up, and instead of being like, "I'll go home," I was like, "We need to find these guys' house."
No! Oh my gosh.
And so I'm just this random girl who is kind enough just to pick up this random guy
Yep.
she's never met. Then she's like, then I'm in the car going like, maybe it's down here somewhere.
Oh gosh.
And she's like, finally, she's just like, the sun's coming up, so like, I kind of gotta like go back and go to bed.
right.
And so she drives me to her place, and then is like, so like, I have roommates, and it'd be weird if I brought you in. So like,
See you later.
so yeah, like bye.
Sure.
And so I'm standing there, I'm just like on the other side of town. Like we didn't go anywhere closer
Right.
to my house, and so I just like, I knew I could like order an Uber, but before that I walked across the street to like a Waffle House, and I just had some food.
Yeah.
And that was just like, it settled me a little bit
Yeah.
before I had to like walk into my parents' house.
Oh, and your parents? You lived with your
Yeah.
parents when this was happening?
Yeah, but like they were already like asleep when like I left, and then they woke up. So they never even knew.
Right.
Because I came back into the house when they were gone.
Gotcha.
So like they didn't come up, like they lived on
Sure.
the bottom floor, so like they just didn't even know.
They don't like poke their head in before they leave or
Mm,
anything.
no. So
Yeah.
They just
Wow.
never knew. But that next day was really hard. But that food,
Sure.
really, I just remember, because I was trying to think, I was thinking of like a sensual eating
Yeah.
experience. And that's like, it's one of those like, when it's a long night.
Yes.
And you haven't been thinking about that you're hungry until everything stops.
Right.
And then you go, now you're like waiting for something, and you're
Mhm.
going, holy shit, like I haven't eaten since like
Right.
yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes food just makes everything better
Yeah.
for a little bit.
And then you realize, oh yeah, life
Life.
happens beyond one night.
Oh, all the money I spent.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, the amount of nights, or the amount of mornings I've woken up and just like been like, why the fuck did I think that was a good idea in the moment?
Alcohol, man. It's a cruel mistress.
Like, do you ever add it up in your head?
Yeah, I did. Back when I quit drinking, I would get to the end of the week and be like, where'd this $400 come from?
Yeah.
Because, you think, I would get off work and I would drink and I'd spend, I don't know, at least $50 to like $80, depending on what it was. And you do that every night. And, it's sickening how much money, especially if you look at it like monthly or like in a year, how much you've spent, and it's not awesome.
See, I don't even think about that. I add up like I try and think back to all the nights like I woke up and it was like the lump sums, where you like went like a little too crazy.
Yeah.
And then you think about like adding all those big chunks up, and you're just like, damn, I could have paid for my kid's college by now. I don't even have a kid.
Right. Yeah. paid for the future funding of the army to fight off the robots.
The
and
robots, yeah.
yeah.
Or just the Chinese in general.
Chinese robots.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's just it's a very fun world for like a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you like come down, and then you look at your bank account, and you're like, because it's also hard. Like when you're a server, you know, you make $100 in cash, and you're like, well, I have money right here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm already at a bar. I could just buy this alcohol,
Yeah.
and then it's not good. But it remains popular nonetheless.
Yeah. It's like a whole scene. It's a lifestyle. Like what we were talking about, like, you know, like it's super fun when you're like, or not even, like, it's something you look forward to when you're like 19, 20.
Right.
And you're serving, you're like, man, look at all these cool older servers who drink every night and party. Their lives are
Yeah.
amazing. I wish I could live that. And then you start living it, and then you see there's a difference between being like, you know, like 20-something going out every night, and there's a difference between that and like being 45 and doing that.
Right.
You're still a fucking server doing that shit. And it's like, no offense to the people
Oh,
who do that.
not at all.
But at the same time, it's just like,
That's not what I want from my
yeah,
life.
fuck that. I don't
Yeah.
want that.
And I mean, it's weird because, you know, I'll talk to people who are like in college now, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna stop when I get out of college. I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people that said that. And I mean, it's drinking, you know what I mean? It's a hard thing to quit, especially if you do it every night all the time, and then you immerse yourself in that culture, and you know, start, you know, you realize that you have to be alone with your thoughts. We were talking about
Yeah,
that
fuck
of like,
that shit.
it's not something that's that easy to just like get out of, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, it's like a culture thing. Like,
Big
I
time.
definitely think to myself, like, right now, like, everybody knows, like, me and my buddy are doing this, like, challenge thing.
Yeah.
So I can always, I've got that kind of, like, little cushion
Yeah.
that really helped me, like, in the first,
Yeah.
you know, still now, like, you know, if people are like, yo, we're going to the bar, I'm just like, I'm not going there.
Sober
There's nothing for me to
October.
do.
Yeah.
Sober October in the spring, you
Yeah.
know? But, like, you know, when it ends, it's like, I kind of gotta make up my mind now, like,
If you're
do
gonna
I
go
just
back or not, yeah.
yeah, do I want to, like, maybe, like, have a, like, because I was thinking about, it's just like, do I want to be able to have a glass of wine at a dinner with
Yeah.
a nice female, you know?
Sure.
Or do I just want to, like, not at all?
Yeah, and that's hard because some people definitely can do that. Like they used to drink a bunch and can be like, yeah, I'm just gonna have one beer, and I probably could do that, but I just know it's easier if I just don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's also less money, and I'm also already out of it. You know what I mean? So if I start drinking again, I'll remember how awesome it is, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, this is why I did this. Maybe I'll just keep it. And I don't even want to try because it was so hard to like stop doing it that like I don't want to have to stop doing it again.
Yeah.
You know
How
what I
old
mean?
are you?
28, and I didn't drink till I was 21. And so from like 21 to like 24-ish, I just like drank.
So you stopped before 25.
Yes.
You think, like, because your brain finishes at, like, 25, 26.
Yeah.
You think that would have any effect on you? Like, if you, like, you think you'd be able to, like, monitor yourself better, like, just because your brain is finished?
Maybe. And I have drank since then.
Oh, you have?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've had, yeah, because I quit. I had no alcohol for 2 years, and then I drank a little bit, and I got drunk a couple times, and then I like really kind of made a fool of myself, and then I was just like, you know, I'm just kind of done with this. And so like me and my family went to Paris for Christmas, and I had a beer and like a glass of wine when I was over there because I was like, I'm with my family and my mom and my dad, so I feel like if I start to get out of control, they'll be like, hi, we're sitting here, don't do that.
Yeah.
And I had like one beer, and I did just have one beer, and it was fine. But the next day I was like out of commission. It was so ridiculous. I had one beer and like steak and potatoes and like French fries.
So you weren't like empty stomach in it.
Not at all. Not in the slightest. And I was like nauseous for like until like 6 p.m. the next day, which sucked because like I was in Paris and like wanted to like enjoy the whatever. You know, we were
Yeah.
like touring stuff, and I was just like, and which of course I'm also 28 and not 22 anymore, which is
Yeah.
a huge factor. How old are you?
23.
23. Yeah. And so because like I used to be able to like drink a lot,
Yeah.
and then I'd wake up the next day and be like, yeah, I mean I have like a little headache, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I was like done. It's just you just get older and you just can't do it anymore. And I know everybody says that, but I didn't believe that I would be like that. And yeah, I mean,
No, yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's, you know, a gift. Well, not, I don't know if I'd call it a gift, but I definitely don't think it's going to last forever when like, I've had nights where, you know, I go crazy. Like, I'm, like, not even, like, at a bar. I'm just in my apart
at
going
home, yeah.
shot beer, shot
Yeah.
beer, shot beer, shot beer. And then I'm just like, it's like 4 a.m. I got a 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. tomorrow. And I just crash, wake up in the morning. I'm like, I'm dragging a little bit. I probably could work faster, but
yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah, that-
Just drink a lot of water, and by like noon, I'll be okay.
Drinking alone was the other thing that I really did a whole bunch. Is that I would like go down to the gas station and get like an 18 pack of PBR for $11 and
Yep.
sit in my recliner and just watch a movie, and then you drink all of it, and then you're like, okay, well, guess it's time for bed.
Yeah.
And then I was like a divorced dad without ever being married. You
Yep.
know what I mean? It was just because also I don't know, you wake up the next morning and there's like so many empty beer cans just like sitting there, and you're like, this is kind of a bummer. You know, it wasn't my favorite version of myself.
Yeah, and it also sucked, like, just like that was like governing my sleep. Like, you know, like
Sure.
it was like the amount of, like, I could look at the amount of alcohol in my fridge and go like, I'm gonna need a little more. I don't want to go to sleep that early.
Right.
And then, or you'd have like this much, and I'd be like, damn, I really gotta pound these fast tonight, because
Right.
it's like, why do I have to finish it? And my
Right.
brain's just like, yeah, we're finishing it. Just like no explanation, but it's
Yeah.
just like, oh shit, I got 2 more beers, and it's like almost midnight. Like, I better hurry up. Like,
Yeah.
It's like, why? Like, but it's just
It's
I don't
not
know.
good.
Yeah.
But you're 11 days in, you said? Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, if anything, this is just like
Just a breather.
a breather, time to think clearly,
Sure.
you know? And I mean,
And I get it.
Just
And-
see the benefits of it, cuz like I'm
Yeah.
seeing, you know, it's hard to stop, but it's also seeing like what this is like outside of that. So like I
Yeah.
can already see like a fiscal benefit. I
Sure.
can already see like you know, I've kind of got a bias on the physical benefit. Like when I'm working out, like, you know, like if I had just stopped, I don't think I would have just been able to stop. Having something to do like outside of
Right.
that helps. But and also like I think if I get anything out of this, it's that like I've wanted to stop nicotine for so long, but I couldn't do it without like stopping
The alcohol, gotcha.
So like if I give myself 30 days without alcohol, like that'll give me 30 days without nicotine.
Sure.
And then I'll be able to like, even if I go back to alcohol,
Yeah.
I'll have some fight already under my belt.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. And yeah, you going back to alcohol is not anything bad. It's
Yeah.
just definitely, it's good to think with a clear head every once in a while,
Yeah.
you know? Because like you said, I mean, the alcohol, it'll tell you, like, no, we're finishing all of them.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and you're like, okay, guess we are. Go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And then once you get, 5, 6 beers in you, you're like, oh, yeah, of course we're finishing it, you know? And it's just,
But I am also kind of like fearful because you're like, I think you're the second person now where I've heard a story about like the not drinking and going back to it. And I mean, my timeline isn't nearly as long as yours or this other person.
Right.
She had like an ankle bracelet and had to go like 90 days without alcohol.
Right.
And she had like 2 beers when she got it off, and she woke up the next day and was just hung over.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's as young as I am.
yeah.
And I was just like, what?
I mean,
Like,
it drops real fast because
insane.
I mean, because I know after like the 2 years, I drink because I was drinking, double-digit beers every night, and
Yeah.
I drank like 4, and I was like, oh, I was like, I'm done. Because normally, like back in my heavy drinking day, you drink 5 beers, and you're like just starting to get a buzz. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I was like out after like 4, so it drops quick for sure. But
Are you talking like Paps?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I can get my hands on, but
I mean, like in
Pabst-
this comparison, like you're
Yeah.
saying, like 4 or 5 Paps.
So
you start to feel that
when I
buzz.
drank back, I was drinking Yinglings. Those were my first beers back.
Okay.
And so they definitely weren't nothing, but they weren't like 9%ers or anything like
Yeah.
that. But I don't know. I also drank a lot of whiskey and all that. I just
Was that your liquor of choice? Whiskey?
Jameson. Oh my
Jameson?
gosh. My mouth just watered.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I have a Pavlovian response over whiskey. Gosh, I drink a lot of it. Jameson and ginger. That was my preferred cocktail. And then when I didn't have the money for Jameson, just whatever bourbon or whiskey I could get my hands on.
Tequila and water, man.
Mm-mm.
That's my thing.
I could drink a handle, not really, but a bunch of bourbon or whiskey and wake up the next morning and be pretty okay. One shot of tequila and I was puking the next day. It just, for whatever reason, I couldn't do tequila.
It's the same way. As soon as I dip into, I can even dip into vodka just a little bit. It'll still screw with me, but as long as I stay with clear liquors, I'll be good. But as soon as I dip into those that dark magic y'all
Ooh,
play in,
I
that
love
shit
it so
messes
much.
me up.
Man.
I think it's the sugars in it for me. I don't think my
Yeah.
body reacts to because my body, I've never reacted well to wine or getting fucked up on like fruity
like mixers,
margaritas
yeah.
or stuff like that. That always has sent me in a bad direction. So as as little sugar as I can get. I don't even like biting the fruit with tequila.
Sure.
I like
Yeah.
leaving that fruit out of there because it's just I just want it straight.
Yeah.
Put some water in there so I'm hydrating while I'm dehydrating.
Yeah, of course. So it's like you're drinking nothing.
Yeah, or do a vodka Red Bull so I'm energizing while I'm depressing.
Gosh.
Dude, vodka Red Bull, when I was on my vodka Red Bull phase, that was when things were just getting a little too much. That was when I was just okay, there's different ways to handle alcohol and this is the wrong way.
Yeah. That's if you have to fuel yourself so you can stay awake longer
To keep drinking alcohol.
it's not awesome, dude.
It's wait, what's the goal here?
Yeah, are you Yeah, it's not great. It isn't.
Where am I headed? I don't know. Headed to somebody's house.
Right, and that's
somewhere.
That's the other thing is I would wake up in hallways and stuff of people's homes, and I'm just this is because I like sleeping in my own bed. It's I don't really like going and crashing at people's houses. I like to be in my own space and have my safeness of my room and all this stuff. But you wake up leaned up against a wall in a hallway, and you're just it's 6 a.m. and you're what is happening?
I gotta get home now.
Oh, is my car here? I don't even know. It's just
Yeah.
I only had that one time where I woke up on somebody's couch and I poked my head up and I looked over in the kitchen and there was this girl who was making salad dressing in a Svedka bottle. Not a joke. It was very bizarre. And she
was the vodka still in there?
No, she was just storing it in a Svedka bottle, which kind
Okay.
of tells you what kind of apartment I was in. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
a good one.
Right.
One
And-
that recycles.
Yeah, that's true. And so she was oh, hey, good morning. And I popped up, I was hey, morning. I was here's a weird question. Where am I? And she was oh, you're at Craig's house. He drove you home last night. I was oh, okay, great. Craig was the dude I worked with. I was did I drive here? He was no, he drove your car here. I was great. I'm going to leave. Bye. And I just
Just got out of there.
oh, absolutely. It was.
I didn't. Wait. I think you told me that story once before, and I meant to tell you about my uncle. I didn't understand this story when I was young, but this story makes sense now. Because when you're young, your parents leave out the alcohol
Of
part.
course.
They just tell you the crazy things people do. And my uncle, he was staying. This was when I was 6 or something. We were in North Carolina. We were only in North Carolina for 2 years. I stayed true to South Carolina. Speaking of that, I'm the only one left in Charleston. My sister lives in Anderson now. My parents are moving this afternoon. They're leaving to go to Myrtle Beach. I saw them yesterday.
Oh, wow.
But yeah. So I'm the last one in
I
Charleston.
said goodbye to my family yesterday, as did you.
Whoa, yeah. I didn't even think about the timeline with that.
Weird.
Yeah, they're leaving, you're leaving. I guess I'll hang out with your family.
Cool,
You know?
cool. Van and Nancy, yeah, they'll love you.
shit, where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So my uncle, like when I'm like 6 in North Carolina, whatever, and like I guess I was asleep, and I don't really know. I still don't really know why he went out. Like maybe it was to just get more drinks, or like maybe he was going to a bar to get some drinks.
Yeah.
But it was like his first time with his wife at that point, fiance, to visit my mom and dad at this house, and so they were visiting, and he came back, and he just like they like left the door open for him, so he just like opened the door, and he was alone. He wasn't with the girl. I don't know why, but he walked inside, and he just kind of laid down on the couch, and he was trying to fall asleep, but it was like uncomfortable. It was kind of cold in there, and so he got up, and he's kind of like looking around for blankets, and then like he's kind of like looking around, and like he's like disoriented, like he can't like figure out like which part of the house, like because my mom had showed him where the blankets were, but he was like looking around, and he was like, what's going on? And then he realizes like he's not in their house.
Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my goodness.
He immediately just like stops and just like slowly walks out, and then like closes the door, and he had walked in our neighbor's house, and they never told him.
Oh my.
They never told him. Like he like just walked out, and then like moved his car up a little bit, and then like walked into my parents' house and told my parents the next day. My parents were like, we're not fucking telling them. They didn't find out, did they? And he was like, nobody woke up.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh.
But they were weird fucking people. Like I was like, now that I think about it, like if they had caught him, they might have killed him, because they were trying to dig their own pool in the back, like on their own, and they did it the entire 2 years they were there. Like they broke ground when we moved in, and like they were still digging that pool when I left. Like there were some weird people. Like they at least had some shovels around, you know. They
Sure,
might
they
have
would've
thrown
thrown-
yeah,
Yeah.
put him in the hole
Yeah.
to
That's what
finish
they
the pool or
yeah,
something.
Just build a pool on top of you. It'll never fill your body. Oh my
Dude, but it was just like,
Well, I mean, can you imagine? Like, I've had dreams like that
Yeah.
where, like, I find myself in someone's house I'm not supposed to be in. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I have to get out of here. What do I like? Let them know that I'm here. Sorry, I didn't mean to do this. That's like so anxiety producing.
dude, there's some, yeah,
Alcohol.
yeah, it does some crazy stuff.
Does.
But yeah, and I think that's why I got into the situation like I'm in. It's just like not ever wanting to just like crash at somebody's place. Like
Sure.
it didn't matter like how like messed up I was. Like, you know, I just wanted to get back to my bed,
Yes.
like be in my comfort zone, in my car, because it was just like I don't want to wake up in the morning and have to go find
Yep.
my car. Like I don't want to have to do all that shit.
I get it, and I totally understand that, but you just gotta Uber, man.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but
Well, that's one of those things where it's just like, what do I value more, like my comfortability or like these nights, you know? And
Yeah.
it's just like, if I don't want to Uber and do all that stuff,
Yeah.
and I want to just be like comfortable in my home, like when I'm going to sleep at night,
Yeah.
like maybe I should just like,
stay home.
yeah, just stay home, you know? Just drink alone and watch like soap opera reruns.
Sure.
You know?
I get it.
Get into soaps. I hear there's a lot of soap operas. Like they're still going.
My mother
It's insane.
recently just showed me a Turkish soap opera that she started watching.
Is it in English?
No, they're subtitles. And it's on Netflix. And I was staying with her. My dad was out of town. She doesn't like to stay at the house by herself, so I was crashing there. And I like sat down and like sort of watched like a half hour of it with her or whatever. And I was like getting all the characters, and like it was fine. And then she like paused it to go get a drink, and it was an hour long. I was like, oh gosh. I was like, how many episodes are there? She said 68. 68 1-hour episodes. And she was on episode like 7 or something like that. And I was like, are you serious? And she said, yeah. She said, they just keep making them. And
What?
that's so much content.
Like I'm trying. Gosh, that's like a well-run TV
And
show
it was like
in
high
America.
production.
Yeah.
Like they had it wasn't like on a sitcom set or anything. It was like out in the world, and there was a bunch of characters and all kinds of stuff, and it was wild.
I wonder if that's like the soap opera.
I don't know. And see, that's the thing is like I didn't even know Turkey had soap operas, and that's the other thing that she pointed because my mom doesn't like sexual inappropriateness in TV shows. She doesn't watch rated R movies or anything like that, and so she said they don't kiss on Turkish soap operas at all. They
That's too much for her.
No, she's right. She said it's right up my alley. She said I love
Yeah.
it. They don't. And I said, why? And she said they just think it's inappropriate as a culture. And it's Turkey's actually a very big Muslim country, so they don't do a lot of physical affection on in public or on TV or anything like that. And so,
What do they just imply that these people are kissing behind
I,
doors?
No. So that's what I asked, right? I was like, so how do you? Where's like the resolution of like people falling in love and stuff like this? And she said, well, it's different. It's different moments of like, you know, there's this one moment where like the secretary is helping like the boss put on his cufflinks and like they're just like staring at each other and it's very like intimate, whatever. And like one time a girl kissed a guy on the cheek and he was like and just like that was like, you know, and so it like raises the stakes a little bit more. and which I get. I do.
Yeah.
I didn't at first, but it really is like it makes like the little things like way more intense because you're like they're holding hands. Like they're holding cuz you know, and like our shows it's like people banging on TV in the first like 5 minutes and you're just like, yeah.
I like that shit. Game of Thrones season 1.
Yeah, dude.
Borderline porn right
I
there.
literally couldn't watch it because of that reason.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, man, there's just so many boobs in it.
Yeah.
And like,
it's
which
pretty
is
cool.
great,
Yeah.
which is like awesome. But like, I also was like trying to like,
I still have arguments with people who are just like, they try and call like Game of Thrones trashy. And I'm like, where'd you start? And they're like, from the beginning. And I was just like, yeah, like barrel through that. Or like, I don't know, like read the book and then
Right.
jump back in at season 2 and it all changes.
Yeah.
Because I really think they were trying to like hook some like lonely guys.
Sure.
And then once they hooked
the
them.
neckbeards.
Yeah. Because it's seriously, there are people who like are just like, what happened to all the boobs and sex?
Right.
Like, and it's just like, well, like that wasn't what the show was about.
Right. And I also think they got like some complaints of like, yo, there's a bunch of boobs in this show and just like sex in general. And people are
Yeah.
like, is this necessary? And like, I mean, put whatever you want in a TV show for sure. But
Well, they were trying to stay true to the book at first.
is the book pretty sexual?
The book is very sexual.
Oh,
The
okay,
book
gotcha.
describes like everything.
Oh,
and
wow,
it's
I didn't know
still,
that.
And it's still in the later seasons stays true to the book. They just don't show it as much.
Word.
But it was just like, it's HBO, so like just show it.
Yeah.
But then they basically were like, oh wow, this thing is crazy popular and everybody loves it. But to take this mainstream, we kind of got to cut back.
Sure,
on this.
definitely.
And so they did because like, I mean, the last scene of like season 1 is essentially like a girl who looks barely like 18 just getting forcefully like naked give you this, and she's getting forcefully bent over by this like grown like huge man like Khal Drogo. He's like leader of this
Jeez.
army and he's bending her over and he's like slamming into her and you see her like jolting forward like starting to cry, but she's like doing it for her people. Like,
Gosh, man. And see, that's, you know, one of my mother's arguments is she's like, do we have to see people have sex to know that they had sex? Like, you know, it's just like it's implied. We get it.
but
we
the
know.
but like the power of that scene.
Sure.
is
I
seeing-
understand
is seeing,
that
like-
argument as well,
is
definitely.
seeing him like tear her clothes off. He doesn't know her language, and she goes no, like tries to stop
Right.
him, and he responds no, and she goes, do you know what no means? And he goes no, and she goes like
Right.
like, and he just bends her
Sure.
over, and you see her face, and you just see these tears
Yeah.
coming down because she's just like, I'm married to him now, like,
Right.
and he doesn't even know what I'm saying,
Right.
And then she has to use her sexy body to take over the country, and she doesn't.
The Queen of the Dragons, yeah?
Yeah,
Jeepers.
dude, that's just so cool. I'm so excited. They've started releasing like clips for the last season.
Has Homeboy written another book yet, or are they going just off of
No, they decided even before he wrote another book because he's going back and writing a prequel series before he finishes out.
Oh, really?
his
He's going to
version
die
of-
before he does all that, right? Isn't he old?
Yeah, and also like, dude, it doesn't look too
Yeah,
healthy.
he doesn't look like a
Yeah.
shining beacon of fitness.
Yeah, But I mean, he's pumping out the prequels pretty fast.
Good.
I mean, he pumped out, gosh, like a lot of content, but also like like he's been working on this world before the Game of Thrones novels.
Yeah.
Like he had like a comic book series, he had like an animated series,
Oh,
he had like
I didn't know
it's
that.
like yeah, cuz the whole world has like all these different stuff, but like his like top of the line like
Right.
main event was the story of Game of Thrones.
Gotcha.
And that's why those books are so fucking big, because he finally built this world around and they reference all the other stuff.
Right.
And now he's making the prequels about like this evil king that's like a central character that actually is like dead, like that he's creates all this like dissonance in the nation.
Gotcha.
And so
Interesting.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's like a really big world. Like I've seen the series through twice now,
Wow.
and it's crazy how much stuff I just didn't catch the first time.
Yeah.
And then, because I mean,
That's
it's
awesome. I mean,
it's
it is
10 hours.
clearly
season.
a good show.
Yeah.
I mean, people rant and rave about it, and I'm sure with good reason. But also, fantasy isn't really like my jam as much
Yeah.
as like
Well, it's got to be if you watch this.
and like Lord of the Rings is like awesome, and
Mm-hmm.
but I like dystopian future, like sci-fi a little
Are you
bit
into
more.
Westworld?
I watched the first season,
Yeah.
and that was dope. It was awesome.
That's just really cool.
But I haven't picked back up with it. I should.
That's what I hit up like right after I was on Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
yeah?
I was on such like a drama, big
Sure.
HBO high. Like I needed
I
something
get
to
it.
match it, and so I went.
Did you
straight
watch
over to
Lost?
Westworld. Mm-mm. I had a friend like that I was living with at a time,
Man.
and he hadn't seen it either, and he started just like binging through it, and so I watched like random episodes with him. But I was just like, there's something about that time frame of like TV history.
Mhm.
And I think it's something to do with editing, scoring, and lighting. It doesn't matter how good the narrative of the story is. It's the way they did that in like
Yeah.
the early 2000s and the late 1990s
Mhm.
that I hate, like despise. Like I've seen episodes of Dexter. Everybody says Dexter's a great
Yeah.
show. I agree with them. The way they do transitions, all
Yeah.
that shit, it irks me. It just looks
Interesting.
trashy. And I'm just like, I can't watch seasons on seasons of this.
Yeah.
Like, the music's horrible. And they're just like, that's not the point. And I
Right.
know,
Yeah,
I know it's
but
not. But I'm not gonna be
You
able
see
to get
through the
into
Matrix a little
Yeah.
bit, and it bugs you. I
it.
get
Fucks with my head.
it. I get it.
Like the lighting on soap operas, like
oh my
it's,
gosh, it's
terrible.
ridiculous.
It's terrible.
But soaps, will always be old people to watch soaps.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess you're right. And more of them too. Because it's science.
The old science.
Well, dude, we're about like 2 hours right now. 2 hours, 10 minutes.
Nice.
You've got to practice all these career in Charleston capping jokes
Yeah.
that you're about to release unto the world.
Yes. I also
Um,
still have to pack all of my stuff.
Yeah, that too. I mean, there's primary and then there's tertiary stuff, but and then the secondary is like I don't know, maybe
Getting
confirm that
McDonald's.
bed is going to be just yours.
Right. You're right. I need to work out the logistics and the details on that.
Maybe pay $100 for it so you can have the whole thing.
I asked him. I was like, "Yeah, I'll probably like get it cleaned or something." And he's like, "Really, the only stain on it is from orange soda."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, I'll just get a mattress topper and throw that
Yeah.
on there, and it'll be good."
I've got a one stain on my bed, and it's a piss stain from some girl who pissed in my bed when she slept over in my house one time.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and the funny thing is she pissed in my bed, and I realized it happened. I just didn't get up because I was just like, it's already happened. Like, I can't stop this. And I was just like, okay with it. And then like an hour later, she wakes up and like this, like, it just happened type thing, like runs to the bathroom and then like
gosh.
stops halfway and looks back at me. And she goes, I'm like, I know, just
Yeah.
roll over onto my side. There's nothing we can do about it. Like, and,
Right.
and she did. And then like, yeah. She woke up the next morning. She knew my dad, and she woke up the next morning, and I was like getting ready for work, and she was like, "Your dad would be so disappointed in you."
Oh gosh! What? What?
And I was like, that's the, because she's just, I don't know. I don't think she, I don't,
Right, that's just a weird thing to say.
there's
though.
so much that comes into that
Of
where
course.
it makes sense, but like when you hear it
Yeah.
and all that stuff hasn't hit your brain yet, you just go, that's not what a guy wants to hear when he's just
At all.
had, yeah,
yeah,
okay.
that's not. Let's leave my parents
Yeah.
out of the whole thing.
Yeah, and don't bring mom into it either.
Yeah.
Just all family members.
Gosh.
But yeah.
That's
So
wild.
but yeah, Sam, new set. I think this is podcast number 20.
Outstanding.
I think this will be released.
This chair is super comfy, by
Really?
the way. Yes, I like it.
I was worried. I was thinking about before
Yeah.
you got here whether I should sit there or you should
Oh,
sit
no,
here.
I like it.
And I didn't
But
know.
or switch it up.
Yeah.
Keep trying until you find out what you like.
Yeah. Gotta figure that out.
Yeah.
There's so many fucking chairs in here.
A bunch of them. You do have a lot of chairs, actually.
Yeah. It's a lot of chairs.
What? When is this releasing? I interrupted you.
I don't know. Sometime this week.
Okay.
It'll be sometime. It'll probably be later this week. I just released an interview or podcast, whatever, with Michelle Binger. The next one after that is going to be my buddy Will Miller, who's doing the subtitled stuff. I'm doing a podcast. I did a podcast with him and TJ. So that'll be Tuesday, and Wednesday is them. And so Thursday.
Cool.
That's when it'll be released.
I'll be in DC.
Be in DC. Well, dude, good luck.
Appreciate
I
it,
won't get
man.
to see you tonight at Sparrow.
It's all
but,
gravy.
I'll come next week to see you. And I'll do all my Sam roast jokes next
Perfect.
week when you're not there.
Outstanding.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody will think it's real funny.
Oh my gosh, that's
Um,
amazing.
But yeah,
Cool.
that's
Well, thanks,
all we
man.
got. Any last words?
Go support local comedy.
Hell yeah. And that's been a Pineapple Podcast. Thank y'all for listening.